sir. There you go. It says the only option now is end broadcast.
All right,
So-
let it keep going.
Testing
And-
1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Can you hear me? Yes, yes, yes. Huh? Okay.
All right. So we are live. Some people might come in early,
That's fine. That's
but
fine.
as a fan, I did actually get a notification saying, "Hey, they're live now."
There you go.
Mine said they're live now, asshole. But not everybody's will.
Well, I didn't put that, so Facebook's evil then, I guess.
Like, nah, bro.
All right. So 8 o'clock, I guess we can.
Well, we're already on. We're on
okay.
now.
Okay.
People are getting notified now.
Okay.
We might see people coming in. You got 3 people watching right now, by the way. 3 people
nice.
early in.
Nice.
One of them might be me.
Yeah. Hi. Hello, you beautiful, beautiful people.
Yeah. This is what we look like.
Yeah. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Soak it in. Soak it in. Yes. Quarantine weight. Soak it in. Soak it in.
Oh
I'm
my
still
god!
beautiful.
Thank you for reminding me.
I'm beautiful. I have a muffin top. You love muffins. It's fine. You love muffins.
Hey Steven,
Yeah,
you might want to pull your vocal mic just a tad bit away. You're getting a little pulsive, just a tad.
Right there.
Nah, split that difference.
Split that. I'm bad at math, man. I'm bad at math,
No,
right? But I can count money.
That's better. You're not getting the pulsives you were getting.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just naturally loud, bro.
Well, you also can't.
If you put me in a live show, comedy show, bro, and people are actually legit quiet, I don't need a mic. I'm not kidding. I'm that loud.
It's okay. I don't need it.
That's kind of funny because my method isn't loud; it just sounds loud. You remember that? I showed you that.
Oh yeah, because that's the only thing. Like when I had theater, she's like, "Oh, we don't need to mic you. You're too loud." Oh, okay.
I'm Hispanic. I'm naturally loud. There's no and or if or buts. There's just, it's that volume where it's like, I will talk to you civilly, but I don't want to. Not happening.
Oh yeah. Yeah, those were the days. Those were the days. Theater class. Yes. Yes.
What did you do? We gotta know what kind of plays you did.
West Side Story, Willy Wonka. We did a dare drug thing to keep kids off drugs. I think mine might have terrified people a little too much.
Made them go do drugs.
Well, my teacher, she's like, that was really good. I just got one thing. I'm like, oh yeah, what's that? She's like, I felt the devil rape me under my dress, and I'm just sitting there like, oh, okay, yeah, nice, okay, yeah. Interesting.
Oh well, Dana, we can't hear you unless you got the mic up.
Did she say those words? Like,
oh yeah.
Oh my gosh! Like that would have traumatized me.
She's like, oh yeah, and her compliment was amazing. She's like, it's like a Quentin Tarantino, right? It was really good. And then she's like, but I felt the devil rape me under my dress, and I was like, okay,
wait,
okay.
Did she mean by Quentin Tarantino? She said you did everyone's dialogue exactly the fucking same.
Yeah, right. Seriously.
Everybody has the same vernacular.
I'm still mad that like a grown-up said that to a student. Like, I guess I'm sorry. Like the teacher in me is like jumping all out of my skin because I'm trying to understand. Like, something does not sound okay about the devil raping her under her dress. Like, there's a lot there. Like, I mean, I don't know. Like, I guess maybe because it's been a long time since I've been a student and I'm closer to when I was a teacher. And maybe because I'm just thinking, I don't know. Okay.
You guys hit 8 o'clock with the perfect fucking sentence, I guess, right there. That was the first thing at 8 o'clock. The devil raped me under my dress was the first thing at 8 o'clock.
Welcome.
Anyway,
welcome. Anyone who's tuning in, we appreciate it.
Right. Hey,
Yes.
everybody.
Yes, hello. Welcome to the
Hello.
Therapy of the Absurd podcast. Thank you for coming.
Yes.
I
Thank you.
really feel like I have wings with this sweater.
And with no mic stand, I look like I'm doing my first Easter program at 8 years old at church. And you did it okay, first of all, and maybe that's an African American church thing. We say black church, but did anybody like do that? Like we all like we I grew up every year and there was an Easter program and a Christmas program, and they would give us all like a poem or something to say. And so everybody from like the 3-year-old to the 13-year-old, like the 3-year-old would just have to say, Happy Easter Day. That was it. You just had to teach them to say that, and they would step on stage and say that. And then the rest of us had these poems, that we would have to say. Christmas, my favorite season. It was Christmas, like whatever. We just had to say whatever. But that's how I feel right now, holding my mic.
Well, Dana, I got to tell you, I've also been to black church, but the one I went to had a lot more pentagrams and goats, so it
Oh,
was different.
very different.
I live next to a black church. Oh my god. I was like, I want to go. Like, oh my god, when they start dancing and singing, and I was
The
literally
energy.
right next
The
to it.
energy.
And
Right.
I'm like, I want to be religious now just so I can go party. Like
Right.
Catholic churches with Hispanic people, no, it was always, I'm gonna hit you, shut up. I'm gonna hit you.
Okay, girl, we had that too, though. They had that too. If you don't sit your butt down right now, like we had that too.
So
I,
being a white kid going to a Catholic church, you just get this from mom. And that means later on in the car, she's going to tell you something that's probably going to make you good at comedy later. So,
well, we want to introduce everybody. I'm Stefan Bowman here. Anybody else want to introduce themselves?
I'm Dana Keel. I'm Dana Keel. Follow me on Instagram at Dana Keel. And remember, Dana with 2 N's. It'll be someone of German descent. It won't be me if you follow it with 1 N. But if you follow me with 2 N's, you got me.
I'm Stacey Inez. I'm psychotic, so bless your soul for being here.
and I'm Dan Ochoa, an aspiring comedian and death metal musician. So, I don't know what's going to come out of this today.
Amen.
So let's hey. So how do we all start this, everybody? How did we get here?
Well,
I
Stefan?
want to talk though. I want to talk. We need to talk about these
whoever
crazy
wants to go.
TikTok things. Right?
okay, well, before we talk about the crazy TikTok things, like I think it's of note that in these modern times, none of us have ever met in person, that we are all people who have come together harmoniously on the internet, or as some people say, the internet. And
Or the
so
interwebs.
the interwebs. And so I think that's exciting. And I think it's worthy of note. I'm just saying, I'm a comedian also. I'm really excited to a journey that I have been on and off of for a very long time, and more off than on. But we've been on and we've been holding and we've been riding the buck and bull since we got on in October.
Oh
And
yes.
I think we are all just amazingly like minded, very funny comedians.
Yes.
Well, thank you.
Can we request sound effects?
Oh, well, eventually we'll have to get to that. Yeah. And the neat thing about meeting this way is most of the time when I meet people, they can tell if I'm half naked. So,
You're like, I might be wearing pants.
it's a stand-up desk. You don't know.
Well, take a guess.
No, I'm in shorts. They're just not appropriate.
Okay, I'm in short shorts. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Dan, it
girl.
looks like you're outside, like in front of a garage under that light. You
Oh.
know how like when the light that's sensitive and it's motion sensitive and then it comes on. That's the vibe I'm getting from you right now.
Well, I'm multitasking. I'm stalking someone at the same time outside their house, so I just have to, I have a very busy schedule.
Got it. Got
Yeah.
it.
But yeah, we once all this is over, we'll definitely all meet in person, and I'm cooking Japanese food for everybody. So
Nice.
And
because I
sushi.
I will my rolls will look what's the PC word for it? Mentally challenged. My sushi rolls will look mentally challenged, but they'll be delicious.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
okay.
We'll take
Yeah,
it. We'll
yeah.
take it.
I mean, but they're free.
We'll take
Yeah.
it. We'll take it.
You know.
Food is food. I don't judge.
Oh. I sometimes judge. It depends what shape it's in when it comes. If you put all my rice in the shape of a phallic object, I'm probably going to have trouble eating it.
Well, I mean, it's
Yeah.
rice.
Yeah.
It's an Asian staple, so I'll eat it no matter what it's shaped like. I just want the rice,
Uh,
you know.
Nope.
But I will say real quick though, my favorite kind of porn is food porn. So,
ah.
when you're thinking Christmas, good food is delicious. Yeah,
Mm,
just saying.
yeah.
I can totally see Stefan just be like, put that churro in my mouth.
Ah.
Nice.
I love cinnamon. You're psychic. Thank you. Thank you.
The first time
Sprinkle
I
it all
heard it.
over me.
Ah.
The first time I thought about food porn, I thought it was just all stuffing turkeys. So,
Oh.
Ah.
Ah!
Oh Lord.
yeah.
Take it back. I take it back.
Yeah. Let me find
Oh
where
yeah.
that limit is.
Hey
Um,
man, I got that obsession, man. Diners, drive-ins, and dives, Chopped, and all that stuff. I can't help but watch it, even if it's a rerun. Oh
That's a
mm,
good
man.
show though. Like it's just it's a good show to me. Like I totally when I got introduced to it, like it was sun up to sundown for me that day. Like I
Oh
feel
yeah,
like I
I'm
loved it.
obsessed. I'm
Mhm.
obsessed. I'm not kidding. I even watch Dame Drops on YouTube, and he goes to all these different fast food restaurants and tries the different fast food to kind of give you the skinny or the 411 on it. And he went to
Mm.
Shaq's chicken place. I think it's called Big Chicken. And
Oh,
yeah, I want to go, man. I want to try that spicy chicken sandwich.
everybody's got the spicy chicken sandwich, man.
Oh yeah.
Poor
Did you
chicken.
hear about the guy that bought out? Remember with the whole Popeyes craze with the spicy chicken sandwich,
Right,
right?
right.
We all remember that? Okay. There was a guy that went to a Popeyes, bought all of the spicy chicken sandwiches so he can sell them at a higher price to everyone else who was there in
Wow.
line. What he didn't count
Wow.
on was those same sandwiches getting cold.
Ooh.
oh,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
He
I'm selling
lost
food
like
poison. Food poison.
$500.
Anybody got a battery operated microwave?
What wisdom is that? Like what wisdom? What do you come from that would even make sense? I deliver Postmates and I know that the food is gonna get cold if I don't get to you fast enough with it. Bless his
How do
heart.
you scalp a chicken sandwich though?
Well,
How do you scalp a chicken sandwich?
well, I could tell you how the wisdom to deliver someone cold food comes is that house doesn't tip. So
Mhm.
remember that when ordering pizza, by the way. I've been a driver. Um,
Exactly.
Oh
So
yeah.
Okay.
uh, uh,
But speaking of, we're going back to TikTok. We are going back to TikTok.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
have
Yeah.
a
We,
thing.
Yeah.
let's do some TikTok.
All
I
right.
gotta dance.
So there are crazy things people are putting in their faces in order to get the results they want, right? So I saw a video of like this 20-year-old putting preparation H into her eyes in order to take away her dark circles. And apparently it helps you with like stretch marks too. Would you put preparation H on your face?
Wow.
okay,
That's
I'm in a out confession session, not on my face, but on my stretch marks, yes, because there's two or three of them and they're pesky. And I worked so hard during the 9 months of pregnancy to not have them. I put vitamin E oil, the healthier alternative to preparation H for stretch marks. But I got down to like I don't know, maybe the last month of pregnancy, and I had run out and I wasn't able to get more vitamin E oil. And it's like I have this one lone stretch mark and a half stretch mark that I got. And so I won't pretend. I would actually try preparation H on a stretch mark on my belly, keyword belly, not on my face.
Guys,
I
would
wondered.
you do that with your
Well,
wives?
oh, well, I was wondering if it works as well if you have stretch marks from a beer belly. Um, so I could look like beautiful and smooth and
Uh-huh.
majestic here, and then the rest is fuck still.
Right here, right here,
Gotcha.
just right
I
here.
would I would imagine I'm down for the preparation H challenge. Like if like I'm gonna ponder that. So maybe like if we have anybody that's listening in now, like I can't like can't go as far as my face, but if there's anybody that wants to join me, maybe next Thursday I'll have my preparation H and we can start like a 4-week challenge to see if it works. I'm down for that. I'm down for that. So
I'll do
anybody
it
that
for my eyes. Okay, I will do it for my eyes.
okay.
But I will go to a self checkout line. I'm not going to an actual register. Like I won't go to a clerk. I don't know. I don't think I would be able to live with like the shame of taking the cream and having this person look at me like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for you.
That would
Some people walk in and say, "This is a badge of honor. I took the challenge."
nice.
I'd be down to do it. I'd like kind of put it on my neck area. I don't know if you can see. I got Corona neck.
Corona
Or
neck?
well, Corona fat neck.
Okay, 50, quarantine 15, quarantine
Yeah,
15. Yeah, I
just put
got
a
it.
little on there. Kind of
Well, you haven't grown a
rip.
nunt, so that's good.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
A what?
Yeah.
A nunt, like Donald Trump has a nunt.
And a
He
nut.
when
Okay.
his neck fat squishes together, it makes a vertical slit. So he has a nunt.
So that has a name. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's a nunt. It's half neck and half. Well, let's test the word. No, it's half cunt. I tell you. I mean, that's
Oh,
what it is. He has a
okay.
nunt on his neck. Yeah,
Ah,
Is
I
that what
think
you
it's where. Yeah, it's the coin purse of evil. You just put quarters in there. So.
nice, nice, nice. Okay. Well, I was wondering what that was. I'm informed now. Everyone's informed. Yes, I
Yes,
like it.
Yes.
a nut.
Everybody go ahead and use that tomorrow on the person with a nunt. I've only seen one and he's on TV and that's it. I don't know else. So
That's awful.
I want to throw quarters at it, dude. I just want to get
oh,
quarters and throw quarters at it. Like maybe when he's
yeah.
giving a speech or something.
Huh.
Eh, eh.
But
Throw
that's like, you
quarters
know
at
what
it.
girls do when, like, it's perfect though. When you have like pockets in your own body, they're like built in pockets, right? So there's like women when they go to the bars or the clubs, they don't want to take a purse. They just put it in there. I'm just like, ooh, it's in there already, It's already good. It's already secure.
That's
Girl.
not where I thought you were going. I thought you were going to talk about going to the arcade with a roll of quarters or something.
Oh,
Just jingling as you're walking, and
so
then you're
you're
doing.
human pockets. Like we have human flesh pockets. Is that what
We
we're
do. I mean, I do.
I could fit maybe a
I
penny in the
paid to
belly
have
button.
these pockets, okay? I'm going to use out of them.
You know, like who? I mean, who can't fit a dime or a penny in their belly button? You know,
uh,
I can. Use
I
it
don't
as a
know if I
purse.
can.
Just put it in there, and then go to the register. You need. Oh, how much? 8.25. Oh, I got you. There you
Hmm.
Hold on. Hold
as the
on.
representation of cashiers of America, I would reject. I'm gonna say, hey, I think you should go.
go.
Because I represent them all. I'm gonna say I think that self checkout is your option today. That's what I think.
I think that was like one of the strangest things when I worked at Target in the electronic department. They had a guy. He looked like he just went for like a 5 mile run, and he pulled his. He had no wallet, so he pulled his change and his like paper cash out of his pocket. And when he put it on the counter, it was all wet. Oh yeah.
Oh.
He's like, I got you, son. Here you go. And he
And it
put it
was
Uh,
on
out of his
the.
pocket.
Yeah.
And I
hey.
yes, I thought you
Oh.
were going like to your shoe because I'm not gonna front. I never spent it, but like I don't know where this was. I think my dad actually told my sister and I this that if we didn't have a place to keep our money, to put our money in our shoe. And so, like, yeah, exactly, Stacy. That's exactly. But at the time, it seemed like good enough information. And I just remember discovering that if you were barefoot, gross, that money would turn the bottom of your foot green. Gross, I know. But these are things that are interesting for the very nerdy ninth grader that I was. So when you said that the money was wet, I was like, oh, he must have had it in his shoe because that's like an old timey thing. But you're saying it came from his pockets. Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty gross.
Right.
Dude,
Yeah.
you are totally giving me an idea for a great prank. Just walk into a sex shop and pay with wet dollars.
Oh!
There you go. Just, yeah. You
Hell
know?
yeah, man.
What?
How
You're
would you
used
like?
to it?
How would you like to pay for that? I got wet dollars.
Hey, if you don't like that, I got a credit card I can slide through your butt cheeks. So,
Oh, also, we do want to bring up, we do have our special guest waiting in the wings, Tony Cole with us. Yay! Woo!
but before we bring him on, I think Dana has also she has a public service announcement about another use for Vagisil for us.
Yes, I do, you guys. And I'm also down for the Vagisil challenge. And actually, it turns out that I was not quite accurate. It is not Vagisil, but it is its competitor on the market, Monostat. There are, so I'm just going to say, like, this is specific to my sisters, to African American women, but, and it's a widely understood treatment for like balding edges. And, you know, a lot of us tend to wear protective styles that sometimes pull on the temples and the edges. And I will also say, and I think this is known by pregnant women, and when you've had a baby, you suffer, some women, we suffer hair loss right here at these temples. And so between snatched edges and between hair loss, that's yes, because that's what we say. Edges were snatched. So between snatched edges, potentially, or hair loss, monostat is an alternative because it's an antifungal, if you know what I mean. It kills the bad bacteria. And so as an antifungal, it can help release whatever might be holding your follicles back. So again, this is what I'll say. I'm down for a couple of challenges. I'd be willing to do a couple of things. I love science. So, I recently bought a follicle enhancer, something that is, in fact, for your actual scalp. I'd be willing to put follicle enhancer on one side and maybe try the monostat on the other so as to compare growth. So, I'm down to be like the Human Science Project next week if anybody's down with me. Preparation H for my stretch marks, monostat for my edges, and follicle enhancer for the other side of my edges.
And what did you call those edges again?
Snatched.
Oh,
That's what
okay.
they
Yeah, I
snatched.
had to laugh because we're talking about Vagisil. So, you know, that sounds perfect for snatched edges.
My
You know,
lord, my lord.
no,
Oh man.
you know, that's what I gotta say. You know what? We got a little bit more time. Why don't we go over
Oh,
some stuff here? Why don't you show that article on the screen there, Stefan?
Yes, sir.
All right. So I found this thing, 27 disgusting skincare ingredients you're putting on your face. Yes, you were probably putting these on your face, but we're going to go through these kind of fast, kind of fun.
okay. Oh, look at
Human
that.
infant foreskin can give you baby soft skin. Now,
Oh my
Ew.
lord.
now, there's something about this, I got to tell you. I read something. Oprah has declared products with this ingredient as a miracle fountain of youth. I think she got on Epstein's plane for a completely different reason. You know? Here it is. So it's like, holy crap. You know? I mean, I don't know what to say about this. This kid is saying it all, by the way. Look at this kid. He's like, you did
Right.
what with my foreskin?
Yeah,
Right.
Couldn't you have just thrown it away? You know,
It's like, what in the circumcision is this?
yeah, I
yes,
don't
you
know.
take the words right out of my mouth.
Exactly, girl. Exactly.
Yeah.
But it is one of the key ingredients in Skin Medica's TNS line. So I could just imagine Some guy outside a hospital just comes up with a bag every now and then. Any today? Any? No? Okay, I'll be back tomorrow. Okay, see ya. Just, And this also
Right.
makes me wonder, that story in the Bible of the I think it was the king saying, I want 100 Philistine foreskins. And it's like, oh, he probably just, needed some skincare.
Like,
So,
you have nice skin. Your skin is nice. Yes, your
yeah.
skin is nice.
Smooth as a baby's. Mm.
Smooth, smooth.
Right?
Do you know Jeffrey Epstein? Yeah,
So if
smooth.
anybody wants to try this, Skin Medica's got you covered. Gross. Sewage extract can act as a natural exfoliant. So I'm pretty sure if I jump in the sewer, some of the skin's gonna peel off me also. I don't know if that's good.
Yeah, human waste. I don't know
will
if you want to swim in that.
I will go with the natural. Our skin naturally sheds, I think, every 33 days or something. There's like that's a medical fact. I think I'll just wait. I'll just wait for the natural shedding. Just wait.
Yeah. Hey, you want to go jump in the sewer? No, I got time. It's just
Not today.
yeah. By the way, that's their picture because any other picture just, yeah.
Right.
A splash of human urine can give you goddess-like skin. So I think this
Wow.
is what Trump was trying to do in that hotel room.
I think so.
Yeah. Adding a squirt of pee to your daily moisturizer can transform you skin into gorgeous, radiant surface of youth. Oh,
Now,
Did
here's what
anybody give R. Kelly this note?
they must have. They must have. They must have. Now, it's weird. I've actually heard this before. I just can't honestly say that I would try it, but I have heard that this and I've heard that just actual cum, are both great for your skin.
Yep.
Not necessarily interested in trying. But
Guys just tell you that for the ending.
is that what it is? Got it. Got it. Now I know. Mystery solved. Thank you, Dan.
I care about your skin. Trust me.
Right. Trust
I
me.
do. Thank you.
I'm glad I'm not watching your screen.
Do you want a facial after a happy ending?
You want a facial after a happy ending. Yes.
The funny thing about this is I think that a lot of people are traumatized, if they walk in on their parents having sex. But imagine walking in on your dad peeing in your mom's moisturizer while she holds it under him. That would be worse.
I'd be pretty traumatized. I'd be pretty traumatized. I mean, like,
Who could
what,
recover from that? Who could recover from that?
like, what do
I don't know.
they do about the people that want it organic and fresh? I mean,
Yeah.
like, are they just like, hey, man, it's sterile when it first comes out, all right? Just brace yourself, okay?
Also,
Like,
I got to tell you. Oh, sorry.
oh, you're good.
Well, I got to tell you, you see this picture? You see these dividers? That does nothing for your shoes. I just got to tell you now. They should go to the fucking floor because there are some guys out there with aim like an average NRA member. So,
Wait, that's meant to be a shield? I thought it was like so you don't see the other person. I've never been to a guy's urinal, so I have no
Oh,
idea.
they're looking anyway. Some guys are perverts.
but it doesn't matter. That I don't mind as much as when you look down and you didn't pee on your shoe, but it's there.
Oh, that would
It
drive me
sucks.
nuts. That would
Yeah.
drive me nuts.
By the way, we all know the rule. If there's one person using this whole line of urinals and you step next to him, you're a fucking psycho. So
Oh, yeah. Not only that, also, like my father always said, 3 shakes is all it takes. Okay, any more than that, you're playing with yourself. Okay,
Yeah.
we just want to throw that out there. Sound advice to follow.
So, here's the number 4. Human blood facials can keep skin soft. Now, I'm going to call bullshit on this because the first word is Kim Kardashian's vampire facie selfie. That's not coming from a smart person.
Oh my God!
Maybe a smart fan.
blood.
Yeah.
That's,
But
no, you know what? That's another TikTok trend. There are people that are puncturing their skin in order to get soft, youthful skin. Like they have this device that basically just puts holes into their faces until they bleed out.
Wow.
Wow.
well, maybe if they're that smart, maybe it will finish the job. That's
That's awful.
mean. That's mean. I know, but yeah, I do that. Um,
That's interesting. I mean, here's the thing. There are these things that I get, but I would not do. Like I get that because there's to plump your lips, there's something you can do that's similar. Like you're kind of taking skin off and kind of you're doing things that would kind of raise the veins and all of that. But like just because that's what makes sense, it doesn't necessarily make sense to actually do it. There are things that are scientific, but not necessarily application. I'll leave it at that. That's one.
I don't get it though. What I don't get is who says, "Oh my God, I'm going to go ahead and put preparation H on my eyes to see what happens," or "I'm gonna put some Vagisil or Monistat on my hair to see what happens." Oh, I'm just gonna stab myself in the freaking face. What's the
To
worst
see
that
what
can
happens.
happen?
What are these
I
origin stories? What are these? We built this. What are these origin stories? That's a good question.
I
That's a good question.
also want to throw it out there that I think this article, without a doubt, 100% confirms the Kardashians are fucking vampires. Okay, I'm just gonna put it out there. Okay.
oh, this might be the last one we get to. Human placenta can rejuvenate aging skills. That's the second guy outside the hospital with a bag.
Right.
Uh,
But here's the thing, that's totally believable. Like all with all due respect to science, like stem cells and all that come from placentas and all these places. So that one for me has a little bit of credence because scientifically I get it. I don't know where you're going to get the placentas like safely and what's that word, humanely, and but
Sterile too.
but I get the science. I get the science. Like there's this great thing for hair. Why is it's escaping me? I apologize, you guys, but it comes from shark cartilage. It's like and they prescribe it. They prescribe it. But so there's there's these rejuvenative qualities in all kind of parts. It's just a matter of like, is that humane? Is that okay? Like, am I selfish for wanting my skincare to be rejuvenated by a human placenta? I think these are moral questions and philosophical questions that we must ask ourselves.
I'm gonna go back to what I said before. There are people that eat this, okay? So I'm
Yes.
still like wondering how a woman was like, and then they're like, "Oh, let me try this." Oh, I'm like, "Oh, why?
Oh
How do
yeah.
people get to this point that they're like, let me try to eat this?" Like, you're eating part of your baby. You're eating yourself, girl. That's
It's a
nasty.
delicacy actually in certain countries. They'll actually saute it and put garlic and onions and salt and pepper and it'll get refrigerated before they cook it actually.
it's spongy, just like a liver.
Ugh.
That's actually what it's been compared to actually.
Yeah.
Is
Hey,
is
then that means I ain't gonna eat that shit either. yeah,
Hey, a little
no.
bacon, a little gravy, little onions, a little garlic. You're fine, all right? Just eat the placenta.
yeah. No. No. And by the way, who's the mom? Oh, definitely fucking not.
Hey, hey, if mommy says to eat it, you eat it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Or you get the belt again. Okay? So,
Oh. Well, maybe we got time for one more, because this is something that us men can try to look a little more glamorous. The bull semen can give you a glorious mane. Now, this is easier if you have a really tall bull and a friend. And a
Yes.
friend.
Yes.
But technically, bull semen is used as high-end shampoo and hair products. And why don't you highlight that comment from Ronnie right there? That's
Let's
coming in.
see.
Yes.
Oh, deep fried placenta.
Yeah, you could share it with the screen, by the way. You can
Oh,
put it
there
on
we go.
there.
There we go.
Boom. There you go, Ronnie. We got you on the show
Yes.
now.
Yeah. Deep
All right.
fried placenta.
Deep
Yes.
fried placenta. By the way, that makes it probably crunchy on the outside, spongy on the inside. So,
There you go. We got Sergio Wolf with lots of nutrients in
Nutrients and
semen.
semen. Okay.
yeah.
Yes. Oh, wait.
Oh.
But I've heard that. I've heard that.
Well, guess what, everybody? It's time. We got to bring on the man, the myth, the legend. Why don't you go ahead and put us back in the gallery mode there,
Yes, sir.
Stefan? Let's
All
bring
right.
up Tony Cole.
Welcome, Tony Cole, everybody. Yay.
Yay. Hello,
Bring him into
everybody.
the Zoom room.
Hello. Honored
There
to be
he
a
is.
part of this, you guys.
Just takes
Thank
a
you
little
again.
Oh, yes.
This will work.
Welcome.
Oh.
Cool. Can you hear me? Everything go fine?
Oh,
Fine
oh,
levels? Everything okay?
Is he there?
Oh
There we
yes.
go.
I think so. Okay, cool.
Uh-oh.
Cool,
I'm
man.
having trouble on my end here.
Oh, well, it was very interesting to listen to you guys talk about
Oh boy.
skincare.
Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
I can
Yes.
hear you. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can hear you and see you.
Yeah, I want to know who tried out all that bull semen to figure out if it worked or not.
Right.
Like, who are these people? They getting to do this? Like, so what's up, Sergio?
says hello.
That's cool, man. That it comes up.
There we go. Can you hear me
That
now?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Hey.
Oh, there we go.
What's up, Lauren?
That's
Been
weird.
a minute.
Maybe this has a glitch also using Chrome. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I got. I'm using Chrome right now at the moment. Seems to be doing okay.
It seems to be okay.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm let's introduce him, Stefan.
Oh yes, this is a good longtime friend. Back when I performed in a band called Enthraller in Southern California, and became really good friends with Tony Cole here.
Yeah.
He did 2 of our album covers, and we became really good friends.
Yeah.
And
And logo and your
oh yes,
layouts and
yes,
t-shirt
logo layouts
designs.
and T-shirt
Yeah.
designs. Yes, and we're going to be working with him on the therapy of the absurd stuff as well.
Oh, great.
To get some really cool stuff done.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and at one time videotaping you guys. I think you guys should have that. It was at the Holy Gully. You and
yeah.
Jacob with Gatekeeper. And then I think I got Odious Mortem when they first played through, and Decrepit Birth.
Oh,
Or it wasn't Odious Mortem, it was Carnivorous.
Oh, okay.
Wait, did you say Gatekeeper?
Gatekeeper, yeah, Jacob.
Oh yeah. I did that 2 of their albums too.
Yeah, that was a good time.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, the poor lady don't even know. Yeah, like there's a whole especially like in the early 2000s, is when kind of like a resurgence of Southern California metal kind of came around. There was a lot more vendors or venues to play. They had Chris and Vlad from
Benighted Entity.
Benighted Entities. Yeah, thank you.
Oh,
We did that double split with those guys too.
Yeah,
it was a cool time, man. In metal, it was. We had a lot of shows going on.
That was our first thing that we were on. It was at the Benighted Entity compilation.
Yeah.
With Abysmal Dawn, who right now is doing amazingly well.
Yeah, for sure.
Killing it. I'd love to get Charles on here actually someday.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll do it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So, are you ladies into metal music?
How did you get into movie business?
Into the movie business?
I got questions too.
Yeah. What you got?
To answer your question though, no, I'm not into metal, but your art is absolutely amazing. I will say that. Like I love what I'm seeing. And out confession session, my son is just graduated high school, accepted to Otis of College of Art and Design.
Oh, that's wonderful.
He's very much into manga and to anime, but he's just, he's great at like life drawing and all this kind of stuff. So I'm like looking at your work, just like how amazing. And then he's got a bestie that's a musician and is selling cassettes like across the world.
That's great.
Because cassettes are back, but he's like getting artwork and like, so I'm seeing what I learned once I saw your work. I said, oh, you are a huge influence, because this kid is 18, my son's friend, and like the art that he's getting from like folks on Fiverr reminds me of some of the things that I'm seeing in your work. So, and he's not a death metal musician. He's just a young cat, kind of like alternative and doing his thing. But like clearly your influence is all around here, just looking at what this, what again, the art that he's bringing into his work. So it's exciting stuff. Beautiful stuff.
Yeah, well, thank you. I'm glad you like it. Yeah, I try to diversify it much as I can. Primarily I got into doing metal artwork specifically. It's being an artist is very difficult, and I always feel like you need like a niche. And I was always into the metal. I've always been into metal for a very long time, since I was real little. And then as I was growing older and buying albums, and I was picking up their albums, and I'm like, oh, my artwork is I can either comparable, if not better, on some of these covers I was getting. Obviously not all of them, but some of the ones, it was just giving me the confidence to like start hitting up bands. And it was during the era of MySpace. That's when I was working for Trader Joe's at the time, doing murals and stuff. when MySpace kind of kicked off, I just used that as kind of my platform to just go be an illustrator full time.
Yeah,
And then
Nice.
like MySpace, it's just like Facebook, except without the racism and conspiracy
oh
theories.
man, MySpace is 1,000 times better than Facebook.
Yes, it is.
I'm just not a fan. It's it actually hurt my business more so than propelled my business, like MySpace did. But to answer your questions, doing the movies, I went to Academy of Arts for like a semester and a half in San Francisco, and then when I got up there, I realized, no disrespect to the school, but it just seemed it wasn't right for me. And so when I came back, I went to Comic-Con that year, and then I had postcards, and so I had a just one page on my internet, or on my website, and so I gave an old instructor, Ron Brown, that he used to be a figure drawing instructor of mine, a phenomenal artist, and I let him know, hey, I finally got a website up. And then he was working at a studios in Burbank, and they were doing Pirates of the Caribbean at the time. And so they called me up to do that, and then I did that. I did a couple other little Van Helsing right after that, and then Charmed, and then I got kind of dropped from that project, and then I did a bunch of smaller horror independent films. And so, but my thing is, I've always enjoyed the music culture, and I've always, the way I viewed it is that I could work for the movies, but then nobody will know who my name is. And so if I can just work with bands, a community and culture that I've been a part of my entire life, it'd be kind of like a big, the 15-year-old in me be super excited, which it is. So yeah, after hundreds of albums, I've done layouts, poster designs. I went last year to Switzerland for the first time to do live art at a death metal festival out there, which I was very honored to be a part of. And then I have, as soon as the world opens up again, I have Colombia. There's a metal festival going on in Colombia I'd like to attend to. Definitely go back to Europe. There's a couple places there. I want to hit up Nice to Eat You, or not? Is it Nice to Eat You? Yeah, it is nice. I think there's a, I want to say, I know Nice to Eat You Records, but there's
Nice
a
to meet you
festival.
too.
Yeah, there's another festival like a week prior to Rock the Hell. So I wanted to kind of like maybe go out there maybe a week early, hit that place up, and then maybe spend a couple more days. See if I can just do a tour. I like just do a tour, just to hit up a bunch of weird, obscene places and galleries, and maybe find a band that I can go tour with, and just see a little more of Europe, because it was incredible. It's too short for sure. So
you like weird stuff?
What's that?
You like weird stuff, like oddities and all that?
Yeah, my dad's a taxidermist. So growing up, I was surrounded by a bunch of dead animals. And so and then I was really into horror films. And I'm a product of the 80s, as a kid of the 80s. So we had amazing movies, like Star Wars just coming out, right. And then all the Jim Henson films from Legend, Dark Crystal, stuff like that just really inspired me. And then all the cool cartoons at that time. But yeah, I'm definitely into very I guess odd. To me, they're fascinating, but to other people it would be odd. But yeah, I like the different things, like darker stuff, But I try to be a fan of everything. Don't want to be pigeonholed in one thing. I like majority of everything.
Right. There's such a wide range of themes in your work, though. I think for me, as someone who's like not into death metal, never been into any type of metal, like I would look at your work though, like just because you have so much light and like so much beauty, as well as as to me, you make skulls attractive. Like if there was ever a case for me even considering listening to the music, you've done it here, because like I'm like, okay, well, if that guy is someone who's, this is a root cause of what he does, then maybe there's something in this that I'm missing, or that I've certainly overlooked. And I'll say it just, out of sheer funny. Like, it was, as growing up in the South in the 80s, I was very much, influenced by the pop side of the 80s, but there was only a certain type of African American that was into like heavy metal. And it was like those kids over there. Like the
Yeah.
rest of us were all like Earth, Wind and Fire and Kool and the Gang, whatever it
Yeah.
was.
All good stuff right there.
I mean, it is, but I'm just saying your work is, again, just amazing.
Yeah,
and it
those
deeply-
kids over there were hanging out with me.
Right. They were. They were.
Hey, let's look at some Tony's stuff here. Hey, check it out. So let's just take a close look on this Get Hooked. Now, what brought this about?
So that's a cover for my band. My band just finally finished up. We had our album done, so I just got the thank yous and the final credits about a week ago. So Saturday, I'm going to then do the layout for everything, and so I'm very excited about that. This has been on my bucket list for many, many years. And so what I like to do, I still collect CDs. I like to go to thrift stores and I dig through the CD collections are only like $1. And so anything I find interesting, I go to YouTube and listen to it. And then for like 30 seconds, if I like it, then I'll buy the album. So to me, I found some gold. I found some amazing bands and DJs and stuff and hip hop artists and whatnot, and indie rock. I mean, all sorts of genres, from funk, from metal, from everything. So the album itself, like, I feel like if anyone was to ever stumble upon this album, I think it'd be a rare treasure, because we put a lot of heart and soul into it. I feel like it's definitely our sound. And I learned how to play drums in 2007 to do this. Like, I'm late in life with playing instrument, but I learned how to play drums to be on this album.
It's never too late, man.
Definitely never too late.
No matter how old you are.
Now, I do have to say, I like your tasteful semi-hiding of the nipples here. You've done it very well.
Yeah,
You've done that very well.
Yeah. I've had a lot of practice in it. A lot of practice. Yeah, this is done in watercolors. I rarely ever get to do traditional mediums. Working with clients, because clients always are constantly changing their mind on stuff, or they want things changed or altered or manipulated or whatever. So majority of my work I do in Photoshop, but if I can do stuff for myself, which sadly is very rare, I like to do traditional mediums.
You know what you said about artists. Tell me about it. We'll talk about Stefan later.
I'm obsessed with the vinyl and the photographs, just because I grew up on like just all kind of, like we had the big old kind of stereo in the den, and just Roberta Flack, and my dad loved James Brown.
Love James Brown, same.
And so we just, with all those Polydor records, and I also grew up very much into the album artwork, because that was our only medium. Obviously now it's like this kind of collector's thing, but I'm just looking at, you've got vinyl in this art, and it's just, again, amazing.
Yeah. So eventually, after the CDs sell, if they do sell, hope they sell, I'm taking that money and then reinvesting it and then having a vinyl, because that's part of my bucket list.
And I also think it would diminish the beauty of the art if you tried to have her like getting music from online in this.
Right.
Yeah. Well, my thing with, I have a lot of music. I've collected music for pretty much my entire life, and I've downloaded a bunch of music. But to me, the physical CD, there's a lot of times I forget I have certain albums until I walk by like the CD stack, and I'm like, oh yeah, this album's great. And you pull it out, and I like the ritual of it. I like popping out the CD, putting in the case, letting it read, and then just push play, and you have like at least an hour where I have to go get back up and change it again. It helps me, especially because I'm always sitting down drawing, or I do work with leather as well. I was hitting that pretty hard last year. It allows me every hour to get up, stretch, rest my eyes, do something a little different, like get something to eat, go to the restroom, and then I know if I can listen to like 8 to 9 albums, and that'd be like, it's almost like a counter of my day of work.
Wow.
That's how I kind of utilize it, because it's too hard if it just streams. And a lot of times I don't even listen to my music that I have. I go to like SoundCloud or I go to YouTube. I'm really big right now into Witch House. So I've been going to YouTube and checking out a bunch of Witch House. My buddy Tom Denny turned me on to it a few months back, and I love it. It's really dark and ambient, and it's great background noise or music to work by. Yeah. So that's that cover.
That's very nice.
Yeah. Each one of these things have a story. That's for sure.
Wow.
Well,
Cool
I'm gonna pick one at random here.
Yeah.
I think we want to talk about the Cenobite or something right here, right?
Wow.
Oh, that one. Yeah, that's actually from a sketch. So I had a series. I was involved with somebody, and it didn't work out, and so my poor little heart got broken, and I was very sad for like a long time. And so every morning, what I would do, it'd be a bit called a morning sketch, and so for like an hour, I would just kind of just work out. You have your heart broken. It's a really tough situation to go through because you have friends and family that try to help you, but only you are processing your emotions. And safely for me to do it was just draw, do what I do best. And then this was a piece that was a part of, I think I did 67 sketches, a little more here and there. But a lot of people like this one, and I'm like, let me just spend a couple more hours on it and render it up to this part. And once again, it's not a real finished rendering. This is just something squeezing in between projects because this is a personal project. So every time I have a personal project, I kind of have to squeeze them into paid gigs. So some of them don't come out as nice as I would like. But it's really about the it's about the idea more so than like the rendering aspect to it.
And it's clear that his heart was ripped out, man.
Oh man, yeah, absolutely. And stomped on and then burnt and then grinded up and then blown to the wind.
That must be the rest of the series, right?
Oh, yeah. There's a whole, and then there's more over time that will be, because some of them. An interesting thing about me going through that process is that it opened up very interesting dialects and conversations with other friends and people that were going through the same experience, which obviously I didn't know, and a lot of people don't share it obviously publicly. But I was having a hard time with it, and I don't mind. I mean, I've been sharing my art's part of my soul anyway, so I've been doing this for a long time, so I didn't really mind exposing myself to everybody, and it was a lot of very positive feedback to it. And so there's a few pieces that I'd actually like to render just for some of those individuals, because I think each one of us has gone through a heartbreak at some point, either if it's a family member or a loved one or like a best friend, or a lot of times you have friends that you're not friends anymore. That feels like a death as well.
Or you bought tickets for the concert mostly for the opening act and you got there late.
Oh, I've been there. Yeah, I've done that a few times. That's heartbreaking. Yeah.
I've seen Ozzy so much. I was coming for Sepultura.
Yeah. No, that's a fact. That's actually, I went to go see Ministry. Is Sepultura and the Arise. They're on their Arise tour.
You say it better.
And I was so upset because I went with some friends that they were in a big rush to get there. I was in a huge rush to get there, and because of them, I missed it. And low key, they're still not forgiven to my book, because I mean, I've seen them. I've seen the band afterwards, but I wanted to see them. Rise is my favorite album off them. So to me, that was insane.
Tony, was that at the time called the Glen Helen Blockbuster Pavilion for the No More Tours?
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, that was it was, if I believe correctly, it was wow, I'm so sorry, it skipped my name. If I don't think about it, it'll come to me. It's one of those places that keep changing their names, so it throws me off. The Universal City Walk. They had the theater there. Whatever at that time that theater was called. It was there at Universal City. But now they keep changing all the names, and that was like, I think in 93, 94. This was a long time ago, so my memory isn't sharp for that era. But But yeah. So, anyways, that's that one piece of artwork, and black and white ones are really fun to do because I could get those done probably in about a day, and they're very forgiving, and I don't have to work with value so much, and I like the looseness of that style.
You know, a funny thing about that, I do have a shirt from the No More Tours tour in '97, just to show it to people, saying this is when he said he was going to quit.
Yeah.
And then someone went, "Hey Ozzy, are you out of money? I'm out of money. You need more drugs? Yeah, I need more drugs.
Yeah.
Okay, here you go."
Kiss does that. I mean, all sorts of groups have done that over the years.
I love the live TV show. What was it? The Osbournes.
Yeah, that was a good one too.
Yeah, that was an awesome show, man.
Yeah. So this one was
this is beautiful. This is beautiful.
Thank you. This is a watercolor piece, and this is for. Okay, so I do a lot of festivals. I do a lot of live art festivals, and some of my friends I only see once a year, maybe twice a year, if I'm lucky. And so these are the moments when you're walking through, and then all of a sudden you bump into that person you haven't seen in a long time, and you love them very much. And then when you guys get together, you give a big hug, and it's more of an embrace than like a hug because you haven't seen them so long, and you're just pouring all your love into that individual. That's what that painting represents. It represents all these beautiful, beautiful human beings that I know and love, and I don't ever get to see or talk to as much. But when I do get to see them, they definitely get a good hug from me, and so that's what kind of that painting represents.
I can confirm that, actually.
What was it?
He said he can confirm that.
I'll confirm that, yeah.
You know, this guy is so elated to see his friend, he doesn't notice he's been fused to the ground.
Yeah. Well, because that person's, a lot of times I feel everybody's holding on to a burden. Everybody is always going on through something. And it's not until you get a really good hug from somebody that loves you that, you can't fake the funk on a hug. Like, I can tell how much somebody likes me or doesn't like me by the hug. Or the lack thereof.
Yes.
And I think a hug's extremely powerful. I know it's helped me through some dark times, and I know I've helped others through some dark times with it. So, hugs are more important than a wave or a handshake. I feel sometimes.
I agree. My grandpa was the worst hugger in the world.
Oh yeah, my family, my grandparents, like my mom, my dad, I think I hug so well because I wish they would have done that when I was growing up. They they definitely. I never really came from a very affectionate family, to a degree. I was always loved. Don't get me wrong, but like my dad's side, we're all like very touchy feely, loud. We just get very boisterous and very excited and very affectionate, and then on the other side not really like that. And it's very interesting to go from both worlds. I know you feel kind of sad, like, oh, this one feels so good, and this one's like
that's like my dad's side of the family. We're like, I love you, Grandpa. He's like, I like you too.
Yeah.
And then you're going for a hug, and you'd kind of get like this upper
all
chest.
Comfortable. Yeah. How about they give somebody a hug and they pull like their whole body away from you? You're like,
oh yeah.
I just bump at that point.
Guys, I can personally relate. Like during quarantine right now, I'm like, somebody touch me, please.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's truly what I miss the most. And I was blessed to have a grandmother, my father's mother, who would always. I have a twin sister, and she would just always hug us so tight.
Oh.
Always she would always hug us so tight. And it's funny you say that because, and I remember my grandfather, I come from a very, in that regard, an affectionate family in that regard. Like not, I'm a grown up now, so I don't remember how many times I sat in someone's lap, but it's funny you mentioned that because that is important. And even now, like hugs, like you say, we all are carrying these deep, whatever we're carrying. There are wounds that we are all carrying that maybe, if you haven't released stuff, but yes, right. Hugs. Great image.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. If you look at this one, oh my gosh. Yeah. This is just the beauty of this is what God of War was trying to do.
Oh,
yes.
So this was for a band called Job for a Cowboy.
Oh,
and Yeah,
Yeah.
so my buddy Al Glassman, he was in Goratory, or still is in Goratory. He was a guitar player for Job for a Cowboy, and I guess the other artists that they were using prior uh, bailed out on him, took the money or something, and just bailed out and never finished what he was supposed to do.
Wow.
And so they hit me up. I was like, "Oh, absolutely, I'd love to work with you guys. You guys are a big band. Plus, your music is really cool, and plus, I love Al. Al Glassman. I just love that man. Everything that guy does, I'm just a big fan of. So the concept of it was this was going to be their last album, and so it had a kind of take bits and pieces, I guess, from what they were trying to explain to me. That the cow skull that's facing all the chaos is kind of like the ending of it, and then it's going to morph into it's kind of like a I don't know, like space or some other dimension. So that's why that's is there on the left hand side, so that the being is going to eventually get evolve into something else.
Yeah, it's a great blend into a nebula right there. That's a really good, like the water into a nebula with some steam coming out here or something.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
It's almost like a ritual. It's like, they're almost done with all the chaos and stuff going on.
And it looks like they didn't go with the normal pentagram here, huh? They went with a different kind of thing here.
Oh yeah, me with the whole pentagram thing. I think a lot of people don't really understand what the pentagram truly represents. So I don't view it as the devil. The pentagram represents man. If you invert it, represents woman. So that's what that is. If you want to, bring it back to the beginning. So, but that symbol is a chaos symbol. It's blended in with other chaos symbols throughout different cultures and stuff. So I just blended it all together. Wow. So if it's its own symbol as opposed to because if you start throwing around the pentagram, I think it's cheaply done. Everybody does it for the scare. I mean, I'm a grown man. I'm not really scared of a symbol. I mean, I guess if you're a little kid, maybe it's the boogeyman, but age scares me more than like a fictitious horn guy. Growing old, that's what's scary. So this is just this was just and I was just trying to help them. So my thing with clients, I'm trying to help them to my best ability to then use my talents for their vision. So things, sometimes things get lost in translation, but I think they were happy with it. I was happy with it. Yeah, thank you. I mean, great band. The album too. It's not to be biased because of the cover, but definitely my favorite album off those guys.
As Sergio Wolf says, that's a great job for a cowboy album transition point with their sound. So
Sergio's absolutely 100% correct. But once again, it's my opinion. Everybody's got their own opinions. We can talk about albums and the bands, and I'm not here to throw any shade on people's love for something at all. And so a lot of the stuff, the third eye work is my personal work. A lot of the characters with the energy shooting out, that's all my personal work. And then over time, certain bands like that personal work more so than the blood and guts. And so I get to infuse the two. So this one was dedicated to my grandmother. She was my very, 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 very special human being. One of the most special human beings to me. And she was the first one to go out of all the people the first death I've ever experienced in a family member was my grandmother.
Wow.
And it was just, it was extremely, to this day, it's extremely difficult. Miss that woman all the time. Just a beautiful, amazing, I can't say enough great things about that woman. But so when she passed away, each one of those other characters is to remind me that there's other people that love me as well. So not to have it completely shatter my life. Just thankful that I had it for so long. Thankful that I had a great grandmother to help me become hopefully a decent human being. And so yeah, so that's what that represents. So yeah, so you are not alone. So that's the
That's
personal question, Tony.
beautiful.
How young were you? And I always say I never say how old. I have a thing about it, so you'll always hear me say, "How young were you when your grandmother made her transition?"
I was in early 30s. I was
Okay,
in my early 30s.
30s.
Yeah. So my son's gonna be 10, and so she passed away
Wow.
about a year or two right before him being born, and
Mm,
sadly of bladder cancer, smoking cigarettes.
mm.
But everybody's got a vice, and she was a good woman, and that's the only thing that really made it. Cigarettes made her happy, and you can't live forever.
Mhm.
And I'm not saying I condone people smoking cigarettes or whatever, but I understand life is tough. And if you need something to knock an edge off,
Right.
I'm not here to judge.
Yeah. Beautiful, but just beautiful image. I don't know which image Dan's gonna pull up, but I'm so in love with like the two next to it, the kneeling woman, and even and then next to that with the kind of the halo and the I don't know those
Oh
are
yeah,
yeah.
so the woman next to it is titled "Silence is Golden," and it's dedicated to all you wonderful ladies out there because there's too much. You guys have too much. Too much of distraction. I feel like there's too much pressure on women in general on so many different levels. I think it's unfair. I think you guys are a lot of women are held to such a high standards that's it's almost impossible to even reach unless you're on some sort of you won the genetic lottery or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I donated, or a lot of the ones with women involved with it. Like I was raised by my grandmother, my mom, and I have a younger sister, and so I have women. I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge fan of you ladies. I'm on your side for sure. And so this was called Silence is Gold, and I just think most women just need to unplug from everything and sit with themselves and realize how amazing, special, and incredible each one of you guys are. And thank you for even putting up with all the madness that you guys are constantly getting, bombarded with. And a lot of things, even guys don't know what other guys do to you ladies. It's ridiculous. I have a lot of female friends. Then I'll read some of their posts, and it's quite disgusting how men treat women, I feel, at times. So
that's what my wife says. Yeah, my wife says that. Yeah.
Can we
You're
see
horrible.
Can we see
What?
a little bigger? Can we see it
Sure.
just a little bigger? Just it's
It's that's the one over to the right. It's the golden. She's kneeling down.
Oh, I'm sorry. I went to the wrong one. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, no worries. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's all.
The one here.
The second, yeah.
Oh, I hope Facebook doesn't get mad with the beauty.
The beauty.
I should say beauty.
Yeah, now they'll have their. What's funny is that I have illustrations with like babies being mutilated and people being mutilated and women being mutilated and stuff like that. And only thing that ever gets, which I never have an issue with it, right? I share this and that, but if there's a God forbid it be a nipple, then you need to get flagged. You're like, that's so bizarre to me.
America's backwards, man.
So bizarre to me. You're like, but we all have them. I don't even see the. We just got to grow up, man. We just.
Yeah, no, we
blew.
Grow up. We I remember back at the Janet Jackson thing on the Super Bowl, and everybody freaked out at a nipple. I go, didn't you just see Law and Order?
Yeah, just look in the mirror. But my thing is like, just look in the mirror. See, I once again being an artist. Especially someone that had to study the figure. And I went to, I've been doing figure drawing classes when I was like in high school. We were trained to see the human body as something beautiful, as something to study, as something to respect. And I personally feel like more people should have way more people should have figure drawing classes. Just to get it out of you, just get whatever BS thing you have inside that you're caught up about nudity. Because after a while, you're not even looking. You don't even care about the person's being naked. You're just trying to capture them, and that's one of the most difficult things to do as an artist. So I got lucky on that aspect to it because it's a beautiful thing. I I don't know why people are shaming it. You know.
Well, you do a great job, and you do it justice. I got a question, Tony. Do you wanna continue staying on for the rest of the show tonight?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
And for the rest of it, and help us chime in and
no, absolutely.
On some other things.
Yeah.
Everybody, make sure if you love this artwork that you definitely go to his website at
Right
Sketch
there
the
on the
Soul,
Thanks,
and
guys.
make sure that you are helping support artists in this time because they're stuck at home making everything they make.
Yeah, making art. We're making a heck of a lot of art.
Yes.
Yeah, go to that website, show Tony some love.
Yeah, and I appreciate you guys doing this. This is really cool.
No problem.
Yeah, and I remember we're talking about comedy. 'Cause I love comedy. That's one of my favorite things. I love all sorts of comedy. So do we get to talk about comedians and stuff like that too, or?
Yeah.
Well, we have a topic that we want to talk about. That's very timely right now. It's very timely.
I think it's Idiot of the Week.
Yeah. No. The one that we're going to is dealing with when you have to cough in public nowadays.
Oh yeah.
And how you deal with it. Now, the coronavirus has made, and for good reason, many people very afraid of certain interactions in public.
Yeah.
And we sometimes you gotta cough and it may be something else. We know an instructor, the great Bobby Oliver, that her excuse, she looks at them and says, "Don't worry, it's just weed." And it's a great way to get people to stop bugging you about your cough. What other method? Hey, Tony, how would you deal with a cough in public?
It's funny that you're saying that. I went to go to Popeye's Chicken yesterday, and right, and so the line's super long, right? It's almost wrapped around the corner. So when I just park, I just go in, right? So like one or two people in there. Soon, and I have a mask on, and so as soon as I'm about to open the door, I know something got caught in my throat, and I had to swallow really, really hard not to cough because there's 5 people in there. And I didn't want to freak them out. And as soon as I walked in, I was like, "Oh no!" I got in a car accident in September, and I broke 10 of my ribs on my right side. So I had it's okay. I'm alive, and I'm grateful to be alive. And so during that process, you couldn't sneeze, you can't laugh, you can't cough, can't do it. So I resorted back to like one of the techniques for not coughing when I opened up that door. So it was meaning of like a swallow. And but if you're gonna commit to it, I'd say go all the way if you're gonna commit coughing.
There's a technique. I need to hear this, not technique.
Oh yeah, no, it's more of like a swallowing, because something is dry in your throat, and so like I say, when you have half your body broken and it's going to be an immense pain. If you were to cough or laugh or something like that, you're going to find ways to like work different muscles out for it not to activate. Yeah, trust me. I sneezed one time and I thought somebody shot me. It was so intense. Yeah. So
yeah, my wife had to find methods like that too. I mean, once recently after getting her appendix out, and then twice after an episiotomy. Yeah. So she's had to deal with that. She's had to learn how to cough a little different.
But it's coughing just like you would anywhere else. I just cover my mouth and just cough even with the mask on.
That didn't work for me. I went to so I go and get wine every week. I will admit it.
Thanks for the reminder.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Anyway, so I went to my local grocery store. Please support small business, please.
Of course.
And I go, and my throat was itchy because allergies, and I did this thing where I clear my throat so I wouldn't have to cough. So I did that.
You're right. Right.
And I don't know what happened, but right at checkout, when I had my bottle of wine and I had gotten fruit, that it came out like a freaking possession, just went bleh. Like I coughed so bad, and I was so embarrassed. I left my bottle of wine.
Well, it's a cough. I mean, it's not like you're ripping farts in there or nothing like that. So I mean, a little cough is okay.
Well, actually, Tony, that's exactly how I cover up my farts because it's less or my coughs because it's less embarrassing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, if I have to cough, I like push really hard to make sure no one hears the cough.
Yeah. Right.
You know, because it helps.
Well, and my thing is that everything gets delivered now. You can have your wine and everything delivered too. You know, a lot of these places that just come
for an extra fee.
Yeah, on Postmates though, right? Can't you do it on Postmates? Can you get alcohol delivered through Postmates?
Yeah. Postmates definitely delivers wine. I've delivered Postmates and I've delivered wine.
We had a little a tiny get together and we had some alcohol delivered. Just be like, oh, cool, this is a thing now. Awesome. Yeah, and there should be no reason for anybody to even get a DUI at this point. If you got like Lyft and Uber, and now they can just deliver you alcohol. Yes. Like I don't know, man. You know.
Oh yeah.
You know.
I think when I was in the store, or before I went in the store, they had a line, and they had to check your temperature at the door, and you had to wait till someone walked out.
It seems like too much work to me. Yeah, this is way too much work.
Oh yeah, I had a cough coming on, and my first instinct was, for some reason or another, and I don't know why, I thought of an ostrich. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna, if I can't stick my head in the ground, and if I got to really cough hard and I can't find a bathroom, my head's going in the trash can.
Yeah.
Like legit, I'm gonna put my head in the trash can.
Why don't you just lift up your shirt and cough in your shirt?
I don't think he'd have let me in the store.
Yeah. I know it's tricky times. It's definitely very interesting. Mm-hmm. And then they have it now. It's summertime, and so especially in Southern California, it makes it very difficult to keep people like away from each other, because you got, it's summertime, Southern California. This is the first time ever we all had to stop doing what we had to do, going to bars, going out to eat, going to movie theaters, going to the beach. There's so much fun outdoor activity to be doing out here. And now you're like, oh yeah, stay home. Just stay home, do nothing. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah. I don't know about all that, but
yeah. Well, you know what? I mean, that's some good advice we got going on. How about we move forward to the idiot of the week? Here, just give me 1 second here.
The idiot.
We're gonna go to this is something that Stefan has decided that we must do. And Stefan, if you wanna share the screen now that we're sharing here.
Oh yeah.
Well, since we were talking about farts and coughing, go away ad.
How interesting! How funny.
Okay, so you got it shared right now?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. So, maskless woman getting kicked out of Panera says masks don't work because you can't smell farts. Now, masks aren't going to hold back your bad breath. And pants aren't going to hold back your fart. But what they do is they stop spray.
Right. Yeah. Larger particles, for sure.
Yes. Right. I don't know how many of you have seen, so one of the things that annoys the hell out of me is if I walk into a bathroom, I know someone just flushed the toilet and the toilet seat's still up. And I'm like, dude.
Oh, what happened? What happened? It was that intense? Did we get flagged talking about fecal matter in the restroom? Oh, yeah, it was so bad it blew him off the screen.
Oh my God! All right, well, we know he's gonna come back.
Blew him away.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It happens, once in a while.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's once again, like I say, I've been quarantined since this whole thing kind of started, and I'm an artist, so you want me to stay home and do a bunch of art? That's fine. I do that anyways.
Right.
So it's just been very interesting just to watch. I guess the reaction to the world to what's happening to all of this, and the big pushback against, it's my rights and this and that. I'm like, I totally understand, no one wants to take anybody's rights away, but to be at the point where you think this is still a joke, where it's not real, like we've had family members and stuff that got hit with the COVID. I know some friends, family members that passed away with it. So this is real, this is really serious. And I try to treat it as serious as much as possible. And so a woman like that talking about, you can still smell farts. It's like, oh, but you're the
It's
reason why you're the reason why this thing keeps spreading.
right. It's
Oh yeah.
ridiculous. Like I just actually like last week I just found out like so I have a bonus mom. I like that word better than stepmom.
Oh, I
Um
like that. Oh, I
yeah,
love that.
my bonus mom works in
Yeah.
a like a juvenile like mental hospital where she's working with people and they're wearing N95s.
Okay.
She still ended up her and my dad tested and she came up positive with COVID. My dad still came up negative with COVID and they're in the house together. So they're having to wear masks in the home, quarantine from each other. They can't be in shared spaces in the house. You know, it's like because they're trying to take every precaution because he
Yeah.
also recovered from cancer or
Oh,
whatever one of the somethings last year. But so I agree with you. Like I think when I see stories like that, there's of course the humorous side, but there's just this like I feel like what else exactly needs to happen for you to understand that this is real? That
yeah.
like I mean,
Yeah.
I grew up in New Orleans. Ellis Marcellus, the father, one of our modern fathers of all jazz musicians, died. You know what I'm saying? We've lost
Yeah.
so many people. So it's I don't know, like between the I Am Legend Karen in Louisiana who rammed her face into a bar and licked the glass because they would not let her in with a mask. I don't know if you guys saw that. Like I couldn't believe it
No.
Oh
either.
yeah.
But like, yeah, she like it was a bar and they would not let her in because she wasn't wearing a mask, and she literally rammed the glass door with her head and then licked the glass. And define like I mean she was drunk, but I honestly still don't get it. I just don't get
Yeah. No, I'm with you on that. Once again, I think they have deeper issues
it.
than
Yeah,
just wearing a mask. You know,
yeah,
I see a lot of videos, same thing. You know, people spitting on produce and stuff like that. I was like, oh man, like
Yeah. You
that's
can't tell
yeah,
me what to do. Like that means their parents
yeah,
were
and
shit. Their
that's
parents had no fucking boundaries. I'm letting my
right.
kid run around this whole TJ Maxx. I
Yeah,
don't
yes,
care if they throw the toys on the floor.
yeah. Somebody set the tone to those people, and that see, I have two kids myself, so you know, I try to explain to them, and one of the things I do explain to them, the reason why I'm telling you the way I'm telling you this, because I don't want a stranger to then have to come and correct you because they're not going to do it with so much love and compassionate,
mhm,
compassion, and understanding as your dad will, because there's people out there that are not loving and compassionate and will just set the tone probably more violently than you would be expecting. So, uh, there's the crazy world out there, and I'm not trying to add to the craziest to the
right.
crazy. I'm just trying to observe it and illustrate what I'm seeing and feeling.
Oh yeah. The interesting thing about the article is it states that Panera actually offered her a free mask,
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm
and
sure
she
most places
still
do
and
at
she
this point.
still refused to
It's a
put it on.
pride thing. It's pride.
Wow.
You
You
know,
know,
Yeah.
she's a prideful woman. But the people that are into the same thing, it's like, this is a weird social experiment. When the thing first hit, that's what I realized. I'm like, this is some weird social experiment they're going to be testing out and see what they can get away with or whatever. And then as it kind of continues on, you're like, all right, well, there's only so far this is going to go for everybody until it reaches its breaking point. And then you have these riots and stuff like that. And then they're talking about this is the second wave. I'm like, not really. This is still the first wave because there's no cure. So this is the problem we're talking about. You're talking about a disease, or not a disease, a virus
virus.
Mhm.
that's
Yeah.
going to be could keep run rampant, and it's going to keep mutating and develop until you get some sort of cure for it, right? I mean,
Right.
you can't contain everybody like on your parents. Like how difficult that must be, unless they have two separate restrooms. I
Right.
don't know how they eat. I don't know how to even do stuff like that. That'd be almost like like a living hell to a degree.
Right.
You're so concerned, like, I don't want my loved one to get sick. And then
Right.
if you're sick,
Right.
how is your body going to deal with it? Because everything's completely different. Some people die from it. Some people are like, oh, I had a little fever and that was it.
Right.
So
She's asymptomatic. She had no symptoms.
yeah,
And yeah.
You
yeah.
know
So
So
yeah.
the question I
I
have
have
here
friends that
is,
are doctors, and
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Stacy.
you have friends that are doctors, dear?
oh no, I was just gonna say I have friends that are doctors. Yeah, and they went through a PPE shortage, meaning there wasn't enough masks available to protect them. They're begging their employers for masks. they went to med school. They've been in school for more than 8 years, and then they did additional training on top of that. They're begging for these masks. And that should enough be the severity of saying, hey, this is a big problem.
Right.
But people are like, nah, you can tell them the sky is blue, but if they think it's red, they're like, it's red. They can
Yeah.
obviously see it's blue, but they're like, no, it's
Well,
red. It's red.
So
Um,
so
my friends even had this thing where they're like, look, we're in charge of the COVID unit at our hospital. Can you please just wear a mask? I don't want to see anybody else die. And
Well-
you have people commenting on there and they're like, no, it's all a conspiracy. We don't have to wear it. It's against my rights. And then you have all these doctors commenting and saying, please, we don't want you to die. But it becomes this whole thing where even Elon Musk was like, you know what? If people die, you know?
Right.
It's basically weaning out.
Well,
You
he
know,
doesn't want to lose any money.
survival of the fittest, which is the saddest thing that you have to come to. It's like, please, just do this
Well-
one simple thing. It's just mask. It's just mask.
Well,
yeah,
I do have to
Okay.
ask a question here. Do they
Right.
purposely get these pictures of these women, or do they always make that face? Is that
who
just
knows?
is that the standing bitch face of the Karen?
I think so.
You know, I
It
just
seems like
gotta
all of them
wonder
have
about
it.
that. Yeah. It's. I mean, I don't know if
What
they're
was
just
your
freeze
question,
framing
Dan?
something. Yeah. Wait, what?
What? That also brings about another question, though. You know, like how close is she putting her face towards someone's ass? Like you know,
Well, it
like
depends on. I'm sure she probably rips them. You know, she probably rips them all day long. Look at this woman. You know,
Right.
Yeah, we know. We know.
Yeah, right. She knows. She knows. Come on. She ain't hiding nothing. Look at this woman.
What's
Well,
the
my thing
saying?
is like, dude, she got glasses on. You know, come on. I mean, like, we put a mask on, got glasses on. I mean, you know, I'm all about, dude. We should be wearing stormtrooper outfits, man. Get the whole
Right.
stormtrooper helmet. We should all be cruising in. That'd be
Right.
cool, man. You know, or like I've been kicking around the idea. I want to make a leather mask myself and just do like a whole mask it's like a respirator. But I'm like, I'm not too sure. Like, how far can we do this mask? Do you still have to be able to see your eyes? Because if you have sunglasses and a mask on, then it could be anybody, you know? And part of me, like the 15-year-old and the kid in me, I'm like, oh, everybody's walking around like a bunch of ninjas. It's so cool.
Right.
You know, I like it. I think it's all right, man.
Hey,
I think it's
man.
part of fashion. And
Hey,
it's
Lauren-
all it's
Lauren
time.
noticed that you have masks though. Just in the comments,
yeah.
Lauren noticed that you have masks. So we just
Oh
want to
yeah,
give it to
my
everybody.
yeah. All the artwork you guys like, they make masks from that, and they're not, you know, they're just little cloth masks. They're not, you know, not going to save you from anything. They're just, once again, it's from like the particles, right? If you're
Right.
speaking, you want
Yeah.
you want your saliva to hit anything. That's kind of what it's for, and you
They're-
can wash
they're-
them.
Yeah, actually, cloth is good if you have a breathing port, because the breathing port shoots out air too.
Yeah,
So if you put a little bit of cloth over it, that's great, and it works
Yeah.
great.
and I understand if people have like asthma. You know, like for me, when I have it on, when I'm outside, I don't like talking for very long because I start to hyperventilate. It's almost I don't like it. But if I have to just go in, get what I have to get done, wave, say whatever I got to do, and then get back into the car, I'm cool with that. But I wouldn't, like, I feel bad for people that have to wear this thing for 8-9 hours out of the day. You know, because that can't be good for you either. You know, not get enough oxygen into your
Right.
brain.
Well,
I'm not a doctor. Sorry.
well, we do have this article up right now, and this is an interesting article we want to talk about. I want to try a game with this article just to see how fun we are with this. All right. So this article says, a taste of democracy: South Korea's 16-year fight for green onion breakfast cereal.
Huh.
In Seoul, Korea, in Seoul, Korea, it has been hailed as a major win for democracy in South Korea. After 16 years in exile, a president this week triumphantly returned to claim his rightful place on the front of a box of green onions flavored cereal. Apparently, this was a limited edition of Chex that was sold within 2 days when it hit online stores.
Oh,
They love this green onion cereal.
I want to try it. I bet it's great on a salad.
You know what? You're right. It must be better than croutons than with milk. I
bet
have
it's
not had
delicious.
onion milk. It's onion milk. Don't we usually like keep the cows out of the onion patch for a reason? It just ruins the milk.
Yeah, I learned that on Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah.
Not even a thing.
So here's the game I want to play, everyone, because I got some of these.
Yay!
Let's think of some other cereal flavors that would be as interesting. Who wants to go first?
I want to go. I think garlic would be great.
Garlic would be a great cereal. A garlic milk cereal. You know what?
Yeah.
Let the milk sit for a while. It turns into garlic cheese, and that's normal.
Have you tried garlic ice cream?
I love garlic ice cream. The Stinky Rose. You ever been at Stinky Rose? Oh my God, place is so good. I love that. I hope it's still around.
I hope it is. So that's one of the first places I used to hung out in LA, like the Stinking Rose. Great.
I love that. Yeah, I used to get the rabbit there.
Anybody else got an idea of a funny flavor?
I think a funny flavor would be wasabi flavored cereal.
Wasabi. That would be good. That would be very great. That'd be very great. That'd be awesome.
Because wasabi is no joke, man. I say that it's one of the few things you can trust. Whether you put a molecule of wasabi on your sushi or a large amount, it's gonna all burn your face off. So serious. I trust wasabi.
It's a good hurt though. It's a good hurt.
It is a good hurt, but I trust it. I trust it. And then for cereal, I think that would be an interesting cereal.
Yeah.
I think mine would be kimchi flavored cereal.
Oh, that would be vile.
That's the only cereal that you can smell down the aisle.
Would it come in a jar or would it come in a box?
It'd be like a fermented cereal. Here's your kombucha. Eat some.
Just give me a donut cereal. I'll be happy, but
like Homer Simpson. Oh, donuts.
Super delicious.
And
you guys went positive with this. Oh, you went really positive because I got to tell you, the list I have here of cereal choices, I don't know if there's positive what you guys are doing. You guys are trying to find savory and sweet that goes together.
Well,
I like cooking. I'm a big fan of cooking. So
I got a butter cereal, butter flavored.
Oh.
It's like salted butter. I don't know.
So I gotta share this with you. I thought of some other cereal choices that maybe people want to try. Seafood cocktail and mozzarella.
Oh, okay. I'll try it.
Toothpaste and coffee grounds.
Oh, we're going there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dirty nickel aioli.
Oh, interesting.
Yes.
Dirty nickel.
We got tinfoil and gnashing teeth.
Okay.
We've got self-loathing and whiskey.
I know
we
that
have,
I will go for that.
Ashtrays and Subway sweat.
Well, over in the chat, William Davis says Cheerios and hot sauce.
Yes, he does.
All right.
You know what? The Hispanic in me would say yes. I want to try that.
I also have ill-timed oral sex.
Okay.
As a cereal?
Yeah. I'm just thinking of interesting flavors here. Interesting flavors.
William Davis also said shredded wheat menudo.
I'm thinking when a person doesn't shower.
We have.
I got another one for you. A parent's disappointment in lime.
I was thinking of like a yoga mat and peas.
How about thrift store underwear surprise? Now, by the way, that one comes with a toy.
Okay.
I love toys.
Toy be?
Hey, use your imagination. What will you find in thrift store underwear? It could be anything.
Could be anything.
And then I've got the most evil flavor, pineapple pizza.
Oh, pineapple.
That is just oh no, pineapple.
Have you guys tried the Pringles pizza or the pizza flavored Pringles?
Oh, they're so good.
No, those are delicious. Yeah, just speaking of which.
If I want rabid diarrhea, then dude, because I got dairy allergy.
Because I put ice in my milk for cereal,
Oh,
I don't
okay.
know. Why would people be like okay with these type of flavors like green onion, but then get mad at me for putting ice in my cereal? Like, what the hell?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
I
I ain't
don't.
judging
Yeah,
once again. If
they're
it
Ooh.
inside the
works. I mean,
box.
I like on a hot day. I like ice in my milk for sure. I like crushed ice in my milk. It's delicious.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I'm not
Me
the
Yeah,
too.
only one.
I'm
I
all
know
about
I
it.
get too
Yeah,
much hate.
mix a little bit of Ovaltine in there. Oh, you're dialed in.
We got real quick. We got Ronnie with wasabi or guacamole
Yeah,
Wasabi or
flavored.
guacamole, like
I
Russian
saw he was
roulette.
biting my rhyme. He was biting my
Uh,
rhyme on the wasabi. The
we
wasabi.
have Chex Savory Mix by Sergio Wolf,
Mm.
and then we have another one from
Check.
Ronnie.
Summer
Summer
balls, dude.
Summer Ball.
That's a good one.
Is that
Summer
I want to be
is
balls.
salty.
The
I was
summer
just gonna say,
balls came
is that
rolling
like
in
is that
across
extra
the
salty?
street.
Does it stick to
I
your
don't know.
leg?
That just tastes
Mm.
like the
Do you gotta kind of move around when you eat it so it doesn't stick to your leg? I'm you know
Yeah,
just
all sorts of
curious.
bad things.
And another one from William Davis, Funyuns and Swamp Ass.
Oh, that's a
See,
great one right there.
this is actually what I was trying to start, because this is what I thought. When I heard green onion, I was expecting people to go, ew, like I
Oh, how
did.
funny! Yeah, I was
And then
thinking of salads.
you all surprised me.
Yeah,
And
sushi. I was thinking of all things you
I
had
should
to it.
open my palate. So I guess I'm gonna have to go with more of that self-loathing and whiskey cereal
Sure.
eventually here.
I was even thinking maybe
sounds
a
like the breakfast of champions.
Or you
apple
go like, or
cider.
you do like turpentine and kitty litter.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus! I was thinking more of an apple cider vinegar flavored cereal. You know,
Oh
Oh.
yeah,
Okay.
no,
All right.
that's
But here's the thing. Interestingly enough, there's this company called Goli that has come out with an apple cider vinegar gummy.
yes, I want
So,
those.
oh, I'll try that.
right. So, cause so women, there's a lot of ties between apple cider vinegar and weight loss,
Yep.
and so that's the big deal. So this company called Goli, and I've not tried them yet. I've heard about them, and actually, I'm on a sister circle. One of my friends actually said they're not bad, and then Sherry Shepherd, who used to be the actress and comedian that used to be on The View. She says it's not an endorsement, but she has on her Instagram page. That's how I heard about them, just like clicking
Okay.
on her page. So I'm like, well, I'm all about any type of weight loss, in particular belly fat loss. So they may be worth a shot for
I
that reason
tried
alone.
some.
You
I tried
did.
I did. I tried. So I hate taking vitamins. Like the whole
Hmm.
swallow a pill thing. I hate it so much. So what I
Hmm.
did is I only got gummies. I got the apple cider gummies. I got the magnesium gummies. I got the multi-day vitamin gummies. Like I went full gummy.
Me,
Yeah, those
right.
are good. Yeah, all those are good.
Mm.
It
Yeah, that's what
was
we do. I do the
great.
same thing.
And then my like it was bad. Like I think I don't know what happened, but my body said hell no. So if you do take them, you might react totally positively, but my body was like, "Fuck this! You need
Did you
to
take them
stop. You
all at
need to stop."
once, or
I
did
was
you
They're
take
gonna
them?
say,
delicious, but you need to stop.
Did you
I
take like a
did. I took
handful
them
of them,
all.
or what
I
did you
thought I
do?
was being like healthy. I was like, "Oh, look, my multi-day vitamin. I took my apple and cider. Like I put my apple cider and vinegar. I took melatonin. Like I
What
took them religiously,
was this
and
all? But were you taking all these gummies? Are you taking them all at the same
same
time, or
time.
are you doing it like breakfast? You have a couple, lunch you have a couple, dinner you have some other ones.
yeah, basically I broke it down like my morning,
Okay.
like my start off the day with your multivitamin and the goods, and then of course end the day with melatonin. But no, for me, my body was like, hell no, stop what you're doing right now. It's not working. Like I had a reaction to it. But maybe if you take it like just a little, but gummies are delicious. Like even the apple cider vinegar ones, so good. I hate the shots, could not do them, but the gummies were like, yes, give me more. This is my candy.
Cool.
Right.
I heard
That
you.
just sounds like vitamin belly gone bad. Like I find that if I'm not careful, because I take a few things every day, not necessarily gummies, but I have the things that multivitamin, my biotin, ashwagandha. There's a few things I take, but I've learned that I really have to spread it all out. Like, and I have a CBD supplement, everything, but I have to spread everything kind of way out. Otherwise, it's like just too much on my belly
Sure.
at one time. And I've learned that if we can just say this here, I've learned that you cannot take CBD gummies on an empty stomach. That was something I learned last week. Like because CBD is not meant to make you high, but I was like, oh, this is like drinking alcohol on an empty stomach. This was not a good idea. All right.
So, hey, Dana,
Yes,
I think you have something to say about Kanye West today too.
I do. But I did have
You
a
might want to take away the article there, Stefan.
oh,
Thank you.
Oh yeah.
oh, okay. But before I do that, I wanted to like since we are a roundtable of comedians, because I do have a few choice words for Kanye West, and Harriet Tubman did reach out to me and ask me could I talk to him, and I told her I most certainly would. But I have a question, like just as around the table, like Tony, you mentioned loving comedians. Like, who's your favorite comedian? Like, who's your favorite comedian?
I love Doug Stanhope is definitely one of my favorites. I'm a huge fan of Joe Rogan. I like darker comedies, darker comics, but I love Dave Chappelle, Bill Burr, Bill Hicks. I like Earthquake. I think Earthquake is great.
Yes.
There's of course now when you ask me, the bunch of them are skipping, but yeah, I just love comedy. Once again, I sit here and work on artwork most of the day, and comedy is just great because I'm dealing with such dark subject matters. It's always good, and then I don't have to actually watch it. It's always kind of on the side. Right. And then they speak a lot of truth. Especially Doug Stanhope, and I guess Joe Rogan, all those styles of comics. I love the darkness and the truth to what they speak, and that helped me develop as a person as well. And so, my hats always go off to those guys. But yeah, comedy just in general. I mean, there's so many comedians, men and women. I mean, there is a long laundry list. I can, if I sat here and wrote them all out, there'd be a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of great ones out there.
Doug Stanhope is one I actually brought up to the group in a meeting before this, and not everybody says familiar with him. And I said, dude, that's the comedian's comedian. Dude. He can get away with saying things that most people could not make funny. Most people can't make he makes anything funny, even the most taboo subjects. And he comes in. Another one, and I wonder if you like this, Tony. How many of you dig the Norm Macdonald?
I like Norm Macdonald. Yeah, I like him.
Oh, he's the subtlety, the Andy Kaufman of our time. I just love that guy.
yeah. I guess it's nice that there's so many, Netflix is putting so many comedians out there. Also, Amazon's doing it too. I'm very happy to see that there's so many outlets for comedians to get their message out there as well. I think it's really important. Once again, there's so many amazing comics. It's hard to remember all of them, but I like when they that Dry Bar. I don't know if you guys seen that. I think it's out of Utah. I went down a rabbit hole with them, and there's some great comics. It was cool because I could watch it with my kids, in the background too. Some comics you can't, which is fine, But I thought that was great too, and they had a nice variety, and it went on for a long time. Comics I've never even heard of, and they were great.
I just want to do a shout out really quick to two local comics who are amazing comics and amazing women, and I want to make sure to shout them out here. We have Sally Mullins. If you have Amazon Prime, Sleazy Does It is on there right now. Get over there and watch it. It's hilarious. So good. Done open mics with her. Really sweet, awesome person. And then also, one of my dear friends, Bobby Oliver, is going to be getting a Amazon stand-up comedy thing, hitting that really soon. So you definitely want to look out for that. And if you are interested in comedy and it's something you want to look into doing and you have questions, go to Tao Comedy. Is it taocomedy.com?
Our Tao Comedy Studio, I think.
Yes, Tao Comedy Studio.
Yeah, taocomedystudio.com.
And while we wait for Bobby's Amazon special to come out, she is actually already streaming on like Spotify and iTunes. Like you can already
the new normal?
The best of, not the podcast, her actual the special that's coming on Amazon has a companion streaming album, and the album is already out on, like I said, iTunes and Spotify. Some of our fellow comics have heard it and reviewed it. So
Mitch Hedberg, yeah, for sure. I'm sorry.
Anything. So yeah, if you if to everybody on here, Bobby is like just she's all things teacher and just as 30-year veteran in comedy
Oh
herself.
yeah,
So
mentor,
um,
teacher.
so there's just a
What
extraordinary.
now? I got a question for you guys.
Yes.
So, have any of you done any specials yet, or how does that work out for you? When you have an hour, then it's like, all right, now I can do a special, or do you guys do like, hey, I'm going to do 30 minutes and then have something like how do you sell comedy in this day and age?
Well,
I'm not, like Stephen, you're in a band, like you guys are in a band, you sell an album, you sell music to make money. How does this work? Especially now with the COVID.
You gotta build your set, dude, and you gotta get it tight.
Yeah.
That's where at the level I'm at, that's my best answer. Stacy and Dana have been doing it a lot longer than me, so I'm gonna hand that over to them.
Well, I'll say this because I'm still a student of. But I think over my time in LA, I've worked in the music business. I worked in the music business in the late '90s, so when we were selling CDs and Lauryn
Right.
Hill so the one thing though I learned from one of my favorite comedians, his name is Ali Sadiq. He was
I love Ali. I love him.
Yeah.
Yes, he's great. He was in prison, talks a lot about prison.
Right. And it's interesting because he also talks about the fact that he did not talk about being in prison for the front of his career, the first, but anyway, but he actually has some great as awesome a comedian as he is, he also kind of like schools us. And he had a great conversation that would educate us all, because he said that like back when he, got serious about comedy, came out of prison and all that, it was when the tide was shifting in music. And so before streaming took over, he was aware that he could see the landscape changing. So he started putting out comedy albums on the streaming services that were available. Like, I guess that would have been probably early 2000s or maybe the 2010s. However, people say this thing 2000 not whatever. But anyway, I was just listening to him on one of his lives talk about the fact that he started early making himself available on whatever streaming services were available on iTunes and all that. And now he's doing extremely well because his content has been sitting there all this time. Like, I just discovered him in late 2018, but his digital work dates back 10 years. So he's had stuff up on streaming services because he saw the shifting tide since 2010. So now, as his following has built, somebody like me who then follows a rabbit hole is going back down backwards. So I think, like, obviously he's a veteran. I certainly don't compare myself to him, but I think the thing is, going back to what Stefan just said, you're constantly building your set. I think there's a certain, as we all know, there's an amazing freedom to what you can do. You could actually like Dolomite, you could go in your house and you could record or make anything, but it's going to be about, do you yet have a following that would then be able to jump on that and then make that something exciting. I think it's important, as all of us do the work, and I believe, I'm sure Stacey's been at this longer than I have, to really build to build like the following and all that. But you just have so much freedom now. So I think even as we talk right now, the sand is still shifting under our feet as to how you make a name for yourself. I think the amazing thing about it is somebody like a Bobby Oliver, who's been around for 30 years, gets to take advantage almost immediately of the fact that she can now drop in and get her content out there on Amazon visually, on iTunes, Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, if you will, wherever, and get out there. And then people who are already looking for her will then be able to find her in more places. Somebody like me, if I want, I can kind of do, even without touring, because I look forward to the day that, now that my son is grown and leaving the house, if I want to tour when we are allowed out, then I get to go out on the road and build my following.
Yes.
But then the same thing, you say, okay, I can say, okay, because I have a comedian friend who, I think Kanisha said she's been doing comedy like 5 years, but she was like, fuck it. And like, she invited us all to her house and she did like a little 30-minute special. I mean, I got to see what she's doing next with it, but the ability to put yourself out, gone are the days of, now we have a new trunk and it's virtual. So we, Master P and Too Short and all these great folks who sold out their trunk, we have a virtual trunk. So I think that's how it goes. I think it goes how you want it to go. The big thing is just find your following.
So what are you guys doing then? You individual, real quick. I'm gonna give a shout out to Patrice O'Neill, another phenomenal comedian. Rest in peace, brother. He was phenomenal. So that's another one popped in my head. But what are you folks individually doing for the next, like, I guess the next progression of your comedy career?
Do I get an answer?
No,
Yeah,
yeah,
answer. Yeah, anybody.
for
I
it.
Yeah,
have an
I'm
answer
just
for that, but
curious.
I'll go last. I have an answer for that because I know what
yeah.
I'm doing. I'm working on
Okay.
stuff too. So yeah, go.
Tag, you're it, Stacy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's weird. So you're definitely gonna go through your ups and your downs. I actually got contacted by a stand-up show in Amazon. They have a night stand-up show where they show multiple comics. So they emailed me. Um, I didn't get it. So there, you could have a strong following, but sometimes you're still not at that peak level where you're like, damn. However, I did actually have a contact with America's Got Talent until COVID hit. So,
Mm.
um, honestly, you have to hustle. It is the most gratifying but difficult task of getting involved. And all of my friends who now have shows that are actually getting like Jade. Jade is now the host from the Ease the Soup. She actually was doing stand up for over 10 years.
Wow.
She would go almost every week to the Comedy Store. And the reality is there on Monday nights at the Comedy Store, there's a potluck, meaning you put your name into the bucket. You might get picked, you might not. And then they have Kill Tony. I'm sure. Are you guys familiar with Kill Tony?
Yeah.
Oh
Tony
my
Heathcliff.
gosh.
Heathcliff, I
Yes,
think is
of
his name.
course.
Yeah.
By the way, Tony's a sweetheart. Tony is amazing. So Kill Tony, amazing. Another podcast, one of the veterans, amazing.
We're not saying to kill you, Tony. No,
Yeah, I
don't
know.
worry
Yeah, I
about
know
that.
Tony. I know who he is. I know the comic.
It's like, don't kill me.
But anyway, so there are people that go on Monday nights to either get on Kill Tony or go on to the Comedy Store potluck. The reality is there's a very slim chance you might get picked. But those people that have regularly gone and grinded every single Monday have all actually established big connections with the store. Those have led to specials. Those have led to actual TV roles. They all start off as well with being the door person.
Yeah.
Jessica, who landed a role through Frankie and Grace on Netflix, she's a door person right now for the Comedy Store, like actively right now. I don't think she would have gotten there had she not met the connections that she needed through the Comedy Store. You're grinding nonstop. You have to give it up because stand up isn't just, okay, I'm going to go ahead, pick up the mic, going to say something funny. Where's my Netflix special?
Right.
It's every single week. You have to, and you're gonna have your bad nights, but everyone does. Like I was telling Stefan that I've heard legends at the Comedy Store, and they were working on stuff, and I'm like, I don't think they weren't that great, but
Yeah.
they definitely fixed things when that special hit. It's incredible. You go to the Comedy Store on a weeknight, and you might hear something totally hilarious, or you might hear something pretty rough, but it's working on your craft, and it's honestly, I have so much. I it's different. I've been working my hiney nonstop, and I feel so fortunate. I've gotten to being on a couple of movies thanks to it, and I'm hoping that it continues to grow. But you have to put in the time, just
You
like
gotta
your art.
hustle.
I'm sure you put so many years worth of that. It
Yeah.
just keeps getting better the more time you put in.
Yeah, I just think it's anytime you work for yourself, that's just what it is. You have to work twice as much, if not three times as much, than you would like a normal job. You walk into. Yeah, I'm constantly hustling with. I mean, I have to do leather work on top of, because a lot of times there's seasons of art. Like right now is my busy season, and then when it gets into the holidays, all that slows down, and then I do a lot of leather work. So that all picks up because people are always buying gifts, and there's a lot more like BDSM events, it seems like, going on in the wintertime or something like that. So
Another, yeah. Oh, sorry.
yeah,
Another fun fact I was gonna say is Bobby Lee from Mad TV. He started as a doorman. Oh yeah, funny guy. Tiger Belly, great podcast. If you get a chance, check it out. But he started as a doorman at the Comedy Store, and Mitzi Shore really liked him, his look and everything. I guess at that time there really wasn't anybody that looked like him, and he went on tour with Pauly Shore.
Mm.
Cool. Yeah.
And
I've heard that a lot. I've heard that a lot from a lot of people starting off at the door, or waitresses, or bartenders and stuff. But I just wonder what you guys are doing. Like, how are you guys doing it?
In COVID, I'm taking advantage of the virtual space. Like I just
Microphone, babe. Got microphone.
Oh, sorry.
Like,
Uh-oh.
There you
yeah, there
go.
you go.
Okay. So no, I'm taking advantage. I can only speak for me personally, and Dan and Stefan definitely, have seen my work. Like I'm taking advantage of the digital space. Like I'm taking
Yeah.
advantage of being able to virtually be everywhere from this space. And I feel like that's, and every time that's like someone says there's a show, Dana, could you come do the show? I'm doing shows. And as far as even studying, I'm doing like 2 or 3 mics a week so that I'm putting in the work to improve my own work. I'm in a mastermind. But the main thing is I'm just taking advantage of being able to travel while we don't have to pay for it. And because I'm, like Stacey said, there's a lot of years, and I have probably spent a lot of years in the closet as a comedian. So now I'm trying to make up for, what
Gotcha.
feels like lost time. But it's been a blessing to because I've actually kind of lost count of the number of shows I've gotten to do, like shows, not just mics. And then I'm doing my first out of town mic tomorrow. So I'm doing an open mic tomorrow that's Washington DC based. And so that's that's for me, that's exciting. It's a mic, but I'm like, this is a whole new group of people, because my circle and my set kind of like, they know, they're giving me lots of love on it, but they kind of know my some of my work now. So I'm like, I want to expand. And I'm also, for me, I'm following in the footsteps of kind of some of the internet folks that are doing this great stuff of like doing little short skits. Like
Right.
I started studying at UCB, and I was into my 3rd class at UCB Upright Citizens Brigade before the pandemic hit. And I was also, before I got the nerve to come to stand up, I was writing. I wanted to be a comedy writer. I still want to write for television, but I'm looking at like this girl, she calls herself Miss Cat the Council, and she's got these great little 1-minute pieces that she's doing. And Stacey talked about TikTok in the beginning. There are
Yeah.
just so many outlets. And if you not only do your stand-up work, but then say, what are the other ways I can express, like I'm looking at another great influencer, and I want to, when I say I want to do what she does, not that I want someone else's spot, but obviously I have the things that are on my heart, and I'm like, how can I express them in these other ways? Because we've got a camera, we can edit, like it doesn't, there's no barriers. So for me, the main things are doing as many Zoom shows and as many Zoom mics as I can wake up and do. And I've been writing on some little I'm trying to actually get out my first 1-minute skit onto TikTok and Instagram actually this weekend. And so I'm gonna try to, just what are the ways that I can get what I have to, because everybody's expressing, what are the ways I can get out there. So that's what I'm personally doing, because I'm like, I'm riding this till the wheels fall off, and that's kind of where I am.
Okay. That's cool. How about you guys? How about you?
Stefan?
I was just gonna say that for me it's been about, I'd say, a little over half a year, so about almost 7 months. But I did well, I don't know, I did high school. Well, I'm old as shit now though. I did high school theater for close to 5 years, and then the music stuff I did
Right.
for, I don't even know, dude, either close to 20 or over 20 years. Uh, we pretty much almost had a 3rd album ready to go. We were gonna need artwork and everything, and then trouble as all things happen when you're working with multiple people. Life happens.
Right.
Um, and that's pretty much that. And then I went and I again got into this comedy class, because like anything you do in life, you uh maybe you could be a natural at it, maybe you're not at all, maybe somebody. I mean, there's always so many windows and doors. You just don't know who you're going to run into. And I think when I did the music, when I met people who kind of understood how things kind of worked, or maybe understood it a certain way that I didn't see it, that helped me get into it, I guess, if you could say. Because there, and power to the people who can go to open mics, not have an ounce of material, get on
Yeah.
there and just tell you how their day is. Maybe it's
Right.
hysterical, maybe it's awful, I don't know. Okay.
Right.
I'm not that guy. I would love guidance. I love guidance. Okay.
Yeah.
If I'm going to get up there and make a fool of myself, I'd rather be somewhat okay than just be like, yeah, I went and walked the dog. Dog, it was a good day, ate breakfast. I don't, nah, dude, I'm good. I'm good, bro. Guidance, dude. You want to try to, I look at it this way. This is always, my mom's always told me this. Find a mentor, find someone who can guide you or someone who has advice. So at least you know your path, right? Why guess what the path is when someone can say the path is right there? You get on it, you bust your ass, and you do it,
Hmm.
right? I think it's a lot of torture if you're just going to be like, I don't know, maybe over there, right? So
Do you get a lot of people doing that? Like, since comedy's not, I'm a fan of comedy.
I
I've never like gone
well
to like open mics to try to do it,
I
but
will I will say
is there a lot
this.
of people like that?
I will say this, okay? I know Stacy and Dana. I already told Dan this. I haven't told Stacy and Dana, but I went and I hit up a lot of different people of all levels in comedy. Some I probably shouldn't have, and you can beat me with a bat in the head, okay? But I had questions. I was very professional. I asked people of all levels if they had any advice. I was not begging them. I was not disrespectful. It was a very simple thing.
Mhm.
Where do you think is a good start? Any help would be greatly appreciated. Very short, very simple. And of course, granted, a lot of people have millions of fans or thousands of people email them. So I didn't expect any answer right away. But regardless, all levels I email people. And even the people who maybe didn't have much going on, I didn't get an answer. So none of the guys would ever help me. The only
Hmm.
people that ever helped me were the awesome women in comedy
Hmm.
because the guys with the giant egos wouldn't fucking help me.
Hmm.
They could have even pointed a fucking finger. Hey, why don't you go check that out? I think that might help you. I'd have been like, cool. And I'd have left him alone.
Hmm. Yeah,
But
what you
nope.
know what once again, man, same in the art world, I think it's just the arts, in general,
Yeah.
just the arts. People, I'm not saying I'm not speaking for everybody, but when I was first getting into illustrations, exact same thing. I'd go to Comic-Con, I'd bring my portfolio, and I'd get my soul crushed back and forth from artists I really loved. They say sometimes don't ever meet your heroes. Yeah, that's 50-50, man. After you meet them, you might not ever like their work again. Like, I've done that a few times. I'm just like, dude, after my experience with you, all this is gone. Like, I don't. That's even musicians too, especially trying to work with them. Gone. Um, but one thing I did find is niche. Just find a niche. So my advice to you would be, I'm not a comedian, but I'm an artist. Is find a niche. Find the one thing. If you want to talk about, like I do dark art. So I do a lot of the dark art, and then on my side, I do a lot of the visionary stuff. I'm not sitting doing landscapes. I'm not trying to do portraits. I'm not. I can do all that, but that's not what I'm trying to do for a living. But yeah, I would definitely, for my 2 cents, once again, you just finding out that you're getting into comedy, I would definitely go in that route, man.
Yeah.
All
But
right,
yeah,
guys. So we are running out of time, but we did want to discuss about one topic in particular that we left pending. Kanye West. Dana?
okay, I don't
Well,
know nothing.
actually, this is she's over there. No, over there. Dana has
Okay.
something to say on this first before
Oh,
I say anything. So,
okay. All right. And we've got 2 minutes. So just
yeah,
so
nobody's stopping us, and if you want to go a
right.
little over,
Right. But Dan, we will table it even though Tony won't be here. We're definitely interested in what your vision is for your comedy career because you're the only person that didn't share. I know you're still in the nascent stages, but I'll go ahead and share about comedy, and then at whatever point we are definitely. I think Tony's primed the pump for a great conversation about
I,
vision for
I
your.
only have one thing to say there. I'm here because the man up there,
Uh-huh.
Stefan, Stefan.
Very
And
nice.
I'll just say it real quick. Stefan worked with me when I was a producer. I used to use comedy to relax the musicians. I
Cool.
never thought of doing stand up until Stefan and I were talking at his birthday party, and he said, "You know what, man? Why don't you try it?" So I've done
Yeah.
3 open mics. That's
Oh,
all I'm
I
gonna
love it. Right on, Stephanie.
Yes,
Good job, brother.
yes,
That's
love
good,
that.
man. Yeah, a lot of
Yes.
hats off to you guys doing that. Hey, let's take some cojones, to go up there. I'd be super nervous.
No.
I don't know what to
You
say.
know, when I met him and I saw the stuff that he was able to do, because a lot of, and I'm sure again, ladies can chime in at any time, but when you meet someone who has a unique personality, who knows how to talk to people and get a reaction out of them, you can teach some people that, but that's hard, dude. And
Yeah.
to do that naturally, that's crazy. So because I
I
know
am
him,
crazy. I am crazy. Yeah.
because I worked with him for quite a while in a very confined, stressful space that does induce a lot of suffering. I'm sorry, but if you're in suffering, comedy is awesome for you.
Yeah.
And I've known him for so long and had done, shows and stuff, and I've seen again his comic ability. I was like, man, I don't know what we got to get you in there.
Nice.
It's good
Well,
though, man. It's important. That's good that
uh,
you helped them out with that too, because a lot of times somebody won't even know or even feel like they've even got the strength to do it, or if they're even that funny. So
Right.
I have a few friends deep down inside. I wish they were comics. They are just, to me, they're just hilarious. Just the way they think. They're just funny the way they think. But they'll never go to be a comic.
Right.
So
And
like, oh,
it's also about community and teamwork and
yeah,
that kind of stuff, because how does it grow if no one's willing to communicate or just even lend a hand or pay it forward, right? Karma's a bitch, man. We gotta make positive causes, right? That's the way I look at it.
yeah. We try.
Right.
Yeah, or do the best you can.
Yeah, try to guide somebody who can.
I have friends like that too, Tony, though. Like in this time that it took me to get on stage and stay, I always tell people that like I moved to LA in 97 and I actually jumped on stage for like a mic a couple of times and got great reflections from everyone involved, but like I had not I had not lived into that vision for myself. So even though like at this time, like now everybody knows Lonnie Love from the real, but she was obviously further along than wherever I was because she's, went on to do all the things that she's done. But she was one of the co-hosts of the mic, and she was just like, we've got this new girl. Her name is Dana, da 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 da. And she's actually pretty good. But at the time, like I wasn't present to it. I was just trying it and it and
Sure.
I got, I was just like, well, I'm already a certain, there was whatever any of us see as the barriers. So I know how I do know that like you can have, and I have other friends who I think are very funny, but that this is not, like you said, they're not ones who will get up on the stage and hold the mic and say, this is, I want to express myself and connect with the world this
Yeah.
way.
And
Yeah.
that's actually one of they did I know there was a chart. I don't know if it was Bobby who talked about it, but somebody was talking about a chart of like the people's worst fears, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's being drowned, burned alive,
Oh,
car crash, plane crash, whatever. But one of them that rated in the top three was public
speaking,
speaking.
100%.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
everybody's terrified. Like I'm not, never have been, but like people are terrified of public speaking. I don't understand it either. I want to help. That's if there was anything that I felt like I wanted to do in the world, because I put myself on Fiverr as a public speaking coach. I want to love on
Gotcha.
people that way. But we were gonna ride out with talking about our, I would say, I'll say it, maybe barring everyone, beloved Kanye West. And I say beloved because I am a very spiritual person at the core, and besides these interesting things that he's saying, I also have to honor the fact that he is a soul that is hurt deeply and is dealing
Yeah.
with some things.
Yeah, for
um
sure.
However, I will say this, though, this is the comedian side. You can't talk about my girl Harriet Tubman. That's for sure. I have a service that I have created on the comedy stage. Everybody knows about my service. It's called 1-800 Call an Ancestor, and I'm talking to the ancestors every day. And me and Harriet have had a couple of real conversations. Like I've had to call on Harriet, like when Snoop Dogg was acting real crazy in February and calling Gayle King all kind of names. I was like, Harriet, can you gather him? And she's like, yes, girl, I can. So when this whole situation came down, Harriet called me. She was like, girl. I was like, girl, did you hear him? She was like, I did. And she was like, Dana, I'm going to need you to gather him, because if I come to earth, it's going to be hell on earth, me dealing with Kanye. So I just, bless his heart. I don't know where he's at. And clearly, me and Harriet Tubman are trying to get to him. But I would say shortly after she and I had our conversation about him and talked about gathering him and getting him together, Kim did come on the news and explain that he was having a bipolar meltdown. So I feel like some of the vibrations of him understanding that there's a problem have
I
gotten to
don't
him.
I don't know what happened. What happened? I don't know what happened to Kai. Anyway.
Oh.
I don't follow the news or anything. I don't watch news.
Let's catch you up. So
yeah,
Kanye
please.
West. Okay, so about 2 weeks ago, he announced he was running for president, and so 2 weeks ago he made this announcement that he was going to run for president, and then it kind of waffled in the news, because if you're going to enter the presidential race, you have to go state to state and be able to get on the ballot. So his first attempt was to get on the ballot in South Carolina, and he went and was speaking at a rally in South Carolina where he was wearing a security vest, bulletproof vest, but no mask. So that was interesting. And then he said to a group of African Americans that Harriet Tubman didn't really free the slaves. She sold them to other white people. Quote, unquote.
And he has facts? He has proof of all this?
Of course he does not, because none of it's accurate. But bless his heart, he's just, but he's also the same one who, 2 years ago said, or last year said, that slavery was a choice. I don't know if you don't keep up with him, then you may not know about the huge misstep that he made last year, hanging out with Trump and wearing the MAGA hat and saying that slavery, he said, it sound like a choice. That's what he said. Sound like a choice to me, is what he said. And so he's been in hot water for quite some time. And I cannot speak for all communities at large, but as a member of the African American community, I can say that he's been in hot water, even with those of us who care about him. And cancel culture is big. I will never cancel him, but I do seriously post all the time, help. Somebody please help. Anybody that can seriously.
Yeah, it's a shame, because he has such a huge spotlight on himself, and you figure if somebody really loved him, they won't have him act like that on such a huge platform.
It's funny you say that, actually. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off.
No, I mean, I just find it very sad.
Dave Chappelle went out to, I think it was Wyoming, unless I'm mistaken, to actually
that's where his house is.
kind of advise him and talk to him, and kind of do a head check, make sure what's going on.
It's a shame.
And like Dana was saying earlier, he put himself into the thing to run for president. He actually, I don't know if he knew whether or not he'd get accepted by the Democrats or Republicans, but he started his own political party too.
No, okay, of course he did. Why not?
The birthday party.
Is that serious? Is it for sure? It's called the birthday party.
For your birthday suit, yeah.
So
you know what's funny about him? Another thing, his first rally, his only only rally.
I feel bad. I'm not going to talk too much about it, just because. I mean, I didn't sign an NDA, but it's still a sensitive matter. I've done business with Kanye West. I run a car dealership during the day, and when he's okay, he's actually a really giving guy. Like he gave away cars to, again, I'm gonna say a little bit more than I should, but gave cars away to his employees and mentors, and he's actually financially provided for communities in poverty level areas.
Sure.
He hasn't publicly announced any of this, so he's doing this generally because he wants to. He's not going to the press but
well, don't you also think this would be so? If there's if there's a mental issue, it's one thing, or that he knows, just like what Trump does. If you're so out there, people are going to be talking about you. So it's kind of a weapon to kind of keep them in your mind by doing outlandish things. Like, I don't know, is there like a fine balance? Like,
Well, he is diagnosed. he is diagnosed, but I mean, you go, Stacey, because I'm excited to hear
Well,
what you're
actually,
talking about, what you're saying.
Well,
uh,
I have one thing to
Dan,
say though.
yeah,
Uh,
Dan had something to say.
can you
Sorry.
guys hear me though? Because
Yeah.
that's
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
I'm
Sorry,
sorry. It's
sorry.
just the only thing I can say about Kanye is I heard about his first and only rally, and of course it was his only one. He went up wearing a bulletproof vest, but no mask.
Right.
What, like, who's going to put an attempt on your life when you got what, less than 1% of the vote?
Well,
You
again,
know,
so
like,
it's it's the same that band that used that singer. He used to have a bulletproof vest on, right? So it's like, do you really think somebody cares enough to try to assassinate you? Is it more of like you want? Because then again, if you're putting that on, do you want people to try to attempt on your life? Because what you're putting out is what you're gonna get back, right? You're just trying
well, I think he's communicating. I'm important enough to assassinate. I dare you.
I mean, yes, I mean,
It's
I think
it's weird. I'm
yeah, it's
sorry.
very
I'm pretty
weird.
sure it's weird because I've seen him on TV.
Okay, from my personal interaction, I I have a bipolar mom. So the crazy outlandish things that I grew up with accusations, to them, everything they're saying, they truly believe. Like they're
Right.
so passionate about it. They believe it 100%. Even as insane as it sounds. Like you grow up with that and you're like, "Oh my God, something's obviously wrong with you." So he is now accusing his wife, Kim Kardashian, of having an affair with Meek Mill. And there is like confirmation they met up just because she's apparently trying to become an attorney, right? That
Right.
she's trying to help do prison reform and all that, which she's doing well actually.
She is.
She's successfully vouched, yeah.
She is.
But in Kanye West's mind, it's, oh my God, she's trying to commit me to a hospital and she's sleeping with Meek Mill. And he truly believes that because in their realm of reality, that's what's going on. And as again, maybe I'm biased, not because I did business with the guy and I've seen how financially giving he is. It's having a parent that had that disorder and growing up as a child, seeing exactly the stuff that they would spew that's completely like my mom personally said that my dad was having an affair with her mom. My grandma's like this tiny little old lady.
Yeah.
Like, and my dad's just no.
Right.
But in her mind, in your mind, you see this stuff and you're like, oh, okay. So you feel sorry for these people and you're like,
Oh,
oh
I
God,
definitely feel sorry
that's
for him.
tough.
Mhm.
Yeah,
for
but
sure. Yeah, it's.
I,
Well, to say, there's got to be somebody that loves him. It's like, yeah, no, stop, come over here. You got to relax. Hold on, let's talk about what you're gonna say in public. Let's run through the lines, guys. Because I just feel like more and more he speaks like that, just kind of puts him in a deeper hole.
It
Really,
does. It really does.
I once again, I don't really follow the news or anything like that, but from the little tidbits, every time his name pops up, it's always something really outlandish. I'm like, well, are you doing this just to get attention, just to sell more product? I could totally get that. Like Hannah Montana did that. You know what I mean? Or whatever her name is. But she was doing really
Miley
trying.
Cyrus. Yeah.
Thank you. She's trying to be like the next Madonna.
And Sinead.
Yeah, right. All those
Yeah, all that stuff.
So I mean, I could see that being played out as a ploy to sell your product, to sell you as a product. Sure, but
I don't know. I think it's a real 911 if Dave Chappelle decides to fly from California all the way to Wyoming to do something. I think it's a pretty obvious something's wrong. But again, I mean, if you're an adult by law, if you're not harming anybody or publicly stating you're going to harm somebody or yourself, nobody can do anything about it. Like they can't force you to go get help.
Free speech. I just figured, if he was like my cousin or my brother or an uncle or he's part of my family and start saying some stuff like that, I really would want to make sure like he's A-okay before he goes on stage, and to publicly make a fool of him and his family and everybody else involved with it. But once again, I don't know. I know nothing about this. it just makes, he's such a talented guy. It's like, oh man, if you just kept doing hip hop and and like his clothes, some of his clothes pretty cool too, man. I saw some of his new shoes and kicks looking good, man. So,
I think the family is doing everything that they know how to do. It's like Stacey, you just said that there isn't like a restraint for an adult who hasn't threatened to harm. And I'm now this is something I have to go follow up myself, but they're saying that Kim has come out and said, you guys, please bear with us. Like, we are having, as a family, we've never experienced this before.
Yeah.
We're not 100% sure what to do. We're trying to do the best that we can. And so prayerfully, those people who are of harmonious minds and who understand that they're really dealing with something, then those of us who feel that way will just be in harmony in a level of understanding. Everybody else is going to be where they're going to be in the levels of judgment, but it is tough to watch, is what I will say personally. And I wish, I wish I'd had, it's just tough to watch. And I have so much respect for, you brought up Kim reading for the law. Like, there are 5 states in which you can read and study for the bar without going to law school. And she's in the mentoring program because California, Wisconsin, I think it's California, Wyoming. There's maybe 3 other, like I said, there's 5 states, 5 or 3 that you can sit and you can study. Now, the only thing is, once you become barred, you're only barred in that state. I was very blessed. A Lyft passenger actually tried to convince me. She said, it's not too late. You should do it. You should totally, because we were just having a great conversation, but she's sitting for that. And I'm actually very impressed.
Wow.
In that regard. The other things are the other things, but she went there and got that woman pardoned by Trump. She's like, there's some real things that she's doing, and prayerfully, in all of this, that legacy can continue to go forward. And in somewhere in here, as Stacey has said, we can, that there will be a way to steer Kanye into the truest and best version of himself.
Yeah, that's what they need to be doing, man. That's for sure.
Yeah, I don't. I shouldn't say this, but not a fan of the.
But my thing is like,
the what?
Kardashians. No, you're
Yeah.
you're not alone.
Well, my thing,
I think that Kris Kardashian is the one that's like, saying all of them, like giving them all the ideas, like go out and say this so we're in the news again because Trump's taking our space. And that's why she looked over at Bruce and goes, "What can you do?" And so he was in the news for a while, and then she looked over like, "Hey, Bruce got these for the family. What are you going to do?" "Oh, I'm going to go support Trump." "Shit, that's a great idea, Kanye. Go do that."
Yeah.
You know what? This is the only reason why I vouch for Kanye. I've worked with other celebrities that have likely similar issues, but they don't care. They don't care about anybody else but themselves. They'll go into just narcissistic tirades. I've seen them. But because I've seen how charitable he is, like, I don't think he's generally a bad guy. He's just.
I don't think anybody's saying he's a bad guy. It's just a little interesting, his decisions on things. Like, first of all, why would you want to be a president? That's so much work. That's so much stress. Like, isn't his life already stressful?
Well, there was a theory about that. The theory was he was trying to split the black vote away from Biden. That was a theory I read. Was that he actually thought he could do that so that Trump could win. Now that was just a theory I read. Okay. There's not a lot of like proof over that, but that was actually, he is a Trump supporter. He's, I mean, at least in the past he was. I don't know if he still is.
I think he denounced him recently, actually. I don't know.
We don't know. He's tough to pin down. He really is. He's a tough guy to pin down. That's why it's tough to really like, hey, what did he do this week? What didn't he do?
Exactly. I'd be tired of all of it. I just want to be hanging out in the mountains somewhere, just having fun.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I would see it as a PR thing, but then he did call out his wife on the infamous tape on one of his maniac tweets. Like, I mean, I'm like, whoa, I'm
you mean Kanye with the Kardashians? That her tape?
Yeah, I don't think it would be coming from me, but
yeah.
They were.
Well, did you watch it?
I'm sure he did.
No, I didn't.
No, if you watched it, then she has to pretend to like him better than what she sounded like on that, right?
I will
that was
tell
with
everybody that's watching to read the tweets, and I was like, "Whoa, he did not say that." I mean, I always knew it, but no, I can't believe he said it.
wow.
Like,
Well,
let's say he accused his mother-in-law. Like, he went into full mother-in-law tirade. Like,
Yeah, there was. Yeah, he has some beef with the mom. Yeah, I was reading and hearing about that.
It's interesting to be able to have your whole career groomed, so whatever you say or feel or think is going to be out in public, so millions of people can, judge you. That's pretty heavy. That's heavy energy.
It is.
Something I wouldn't want to ever deal with. Like I got a few fans. I'm happy with that, but I don't think I've ever handled the pressures of millions of people constantly want something from you, and just the headache of all that. Ugh, no, thank you.
Oh yeah.
But I wouldn't mind the fame or the money. I definitely want, especially the money coming through. I'd be cool with that, baby. I just want anything else. Like, leave me alone.
I have
there's
a phone.
some people
Don't
that
call.
can't handle it. Let's see. I will say, it's crazy. A lot of people think that these people like Britney Spears, Amanda Bynes, Kanye, it's all related to some previous drug use that went bad. There's now the Free Britney movement. Have you guys heard of it?
No.
So there is this allegation that Britney's being completely controlled. She's being controlled by her conservatorship. Her family's controlling her for her money. Apparently, she wrote a couple of years ago a letter to one of her former colleagues during a tour, and she spoke about herself in third person because they were monitoring everything she was doing. And she claimed that she was needing help and that she was completely under control. And her then husband was lazy, smoking weed all the time, and she didn't know what to do. And she was going through a divorce because she was going through a breakdown. That she had to go ahead and write this letter in third person to seek help. And now everybody's petitioning to get her out of her conservatorship. Now, if you guys remember, the year that do you remember when she shaved her head because she went crazy? Okay. So she was with a then manager, Sam Lufty. Okay. Sam Lufty claimed that she had crazy drug usage. Sam Lufty the next year associated himself with Amanda Bynes. That same year, she burned down her house with her chihuahua. Do you guys remember that?
Wait, how did she burn down the house with the chihuahua? They're not that flammable.
I have no idea.
This guy. That's a good one, Dan. A good one, brother.
That's what I'm here for.
Amanda Bynes claimed that she went through everything she did because of drug use. And guess who else does Sam Lufty have an association to? The infamous Courtney Love.
Oh, wow.
Courtney Love got a restraining order against Sam, and so did her daughter, Frances, her daughter with Kurt Cobain.
Yeah.
Because he was harassing her, and then Frances Bean's ex-husband also filed a suit against Sam Lufty and claimed that Sam was providing Courtney and Frances drugs. So everyone that Sam has had association with has had a mental breakdown.
Oh, that guy's no
That's
good.
Pretty crazy.
What kind of drugs are those, though?
Yeah, no, it's not the right ones, man. Not the right ones.
People put what they think in the chat. What drugs those were?
The LSD from Mandy. The movie Mandy.
Not to cut anybody off, but we got to wrap up here. So we're definitely right now. I put up Tony Cole's thing there, his website,
you, appreciate you.
sketchthesoul.com. So definitely visit Tony's site if you need artwork, you need a T-shirt design. Hit him up.
Hard time, baby. Just let me know.
Oh yeah, hit him up. And
or mask.
Oh yeah, and he's got masks on there as well.
All the things, yoga mats. I got all sorts of fun stuff.
Oh, you got yoga mats. Okay.
Yeah, babe. I got towels. I got all the things. Pillows, tapestries, wood prints, metal prints. I got you. Whatever you need, I got you.
Oh yeah. And so, anybody have any shows they want to plug real quick?
Oh.
Well, I want to plug a show.
Yeah.
Next week back here 8 p.m.
Mhm.
to probably 10 p.m. ish. I can't promise.
Can't guarantee it, damn it.
We're doing this again. Who do we got, Stefan?
Next week we have our special guest is Lynn's son, comedian Lynn's son, the awesome,
Woo.
amazing, beautiful Lynn's son.
Yes, and she's just great.
So definitely tune in and come back. And anybody want to give out their handles for anybody to check out your stuff? I'm at on Instagram under Stefan Bowman Comedian, or you can find me under Stefan Bowman on Facebook and Stefan Bowman on YouTube. Dana?
I'm Dana Keel. Just some of everywhere. The main two places: Facebook, Dana Keel, and that's Dana with two N's. Extremely important. You will get a white woman. You won't get me if you put one N in it. Keel is a name of German descent. Anyway, that said, Dana Keel at Instagram and Dana Keel on Facebook, two N's, and that's about it. I've been teaching. Obviously, I'm doing stand up, which is just a love. But I think I'm going to resume. I was doing free chess lessons on Instagram Live, and I think I probably will start back teaching chess at least one day a week for an hour on Instagram Live. So look out for my comedy and look out for free chess lessons.
Dan or Stacy?
Well, I guess I'm on Facebook as Dan Ochoa. That won't be fucking hard to find, right? But you know what? You can find me through our Facebook, exactly called Facebook.com Therapy of the Absurd. If you ask me where the show is, this is where it is. Yeah. And also, I guess I'm now on Instagram because of these people. So Dan Ochoa 79 on Instagram. I have no photos there. You can send me some of yours. Don't send any that piss off my wife. Thanks.
Stacy?
I am at Stacy Inez, StacyYyines on Instagram. You guys can also check out this really cool scary movie I'm on called Scare Package on Shudder that released this month.
Nice.
I will look for it.
If you like horror and you like stupid comedy that's slapstick, you're gonna love it.
I got one thing to say just real quick. Scare package is what my wife said on her when we first. Never mind.
But yeah, you guys can check me out. There are a couple of other cool projects that are coming up, but I can't announce them yet.
There you go. Sweet, sweet,
nice.
Sweet. So definitely, spread the word, you guys. Let them know about Therapy of the Absurd. Like us on Facebook so you can get those notifications when we go live. And thank you, everybody, and thank you, Tony Cole.
Thank you guys. It was a pleasure.
Really,
so much
really
fun.
appreciate it.
So much fun. Thank you.
And real quick, I want to throw up Bobby's class. If you are interested in comedy and it's something you want to get serious about and you need guidance, definitely go to taocomedystudio.com. All right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for watching. Have a good night.
Thanks.
See you next Thursday.